Hey everybody, let me know if you can hear me. I'll go and grab my phone to see if I can hear myself. I don't know where I put my phone in. Oh, here it is. All right, y'all. Let me know if you can hear me. I don't even know if I'm actually live right now. But anybody that comes in, can you let me know if you can hear me, please? Let me know if you can hear me. Anybody? I'll wait till some people come in or a couple people come in before I really get started. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Just wanted to do a quick live. And I was speaking on the topic. I spoke on it for about 15 minutes, but as I was saying, it's kind of, weird to just like talk to yourself. So maybe somebody will come in here, maybe not. I don't know. So anyway, but what this live is about is I saw a news story earlier today, and I kind of feel bad about the fact that I was shocked, like, to see the perpetrator because, um, I think sometimes people, and this is shame on me, right? But sometimes we can judge a book by its cover and not really, I don't know. Basically, you can be fooled by what's on the outside, So I wanted to speak on just the fact that yes, sometimes we can like judge a book by its cover, number one, and then number two, I want to speak on the fact that a crime such as the one that he committed is not motivated by what sometimes people think think the motivation is. The motivation, um, it's not, hey, okay, hey, Candy. Yeah, so I'm up here acting like I can't talk. Yeah. But like I was saying, you can't just look at somebody and think that, oh, that's not something that they would do. I mean, that brings me to another point, right? That sometimes a person could be considered like too attractive to need to do something like that. And maybe like the victim won't be believed for that reason, you know. But the part that I wanted to focus on is that you don't really know who would do something like this, and you might think just based on looking at somebody, but see, that's the scary part, because you don't know, you can't just look at somebody and think like, okay, yeah, this is a good guy, this is a bad guy. I'm sure it might become a little bit more apparent when you talk to him, but that reminds me of now, to me, Ted Bundy was not attractive, right? But they keep saying, how attractive and how charming he was, and disarming, right? I guess, people saw him, he seemed like a nice guy, they trusted him, but he was actually a monster. And he actually intentionally used his charm to gain the trust of his victims. Not because I think he actually had a girlfriend, but not because he was like lacking in access to sex or anything like that. It was because he was feeding like the sinister desire inside of him, um, that he cannot satisfy by engaging in consensual intercourse with somebody, you know. So yeah, that's pretty scary too. But that goes to show, like, I remember this girl I went to school with, and I won't say, be too detailed, but she basically said that the person who was molesting her, he had like a lot of different girlfriends, so it's not just about, it's not just always okay, it's that creepy guy that's always alone by himself and girls won't talk to him. It's not that. And like I said, in a way that kind of makes it even scarier, just based on the fact that um you might think you know but it might be the person that you least suspect. So yeah, exactly. Candy cane. um yep, exactly. It was quiet in here. So I was hoping to talk to a couple people about it, um and what their thoughts were on the story. um and like I said, when I was in my live a few minutes ago, I saw somebody they had that like straight face reaction, like they couldn't believe what I was. Oh yeah, I got dropped the link. Okay. But they were acting like they couldn't believe what I was saying. But the thing is, I completely understand that, and that was actually my point, which was that I wouldn't look at him and think that that would be something that he would do. I wouldn't think that. So I'm sure that other people wouldn't think that either. And I did see some comments that like I did see some comments under the video that referenced his appearance, you know. I don't know. It's just super creepy. Okay, so Candy's coming up in a little bit. Yay. I won't have to keep talking to myself. Yay. So I guess I wanted to get into, okay. Hey Candy.
Hey, Choco, can you hear me? Okay.
See, I can't hear you. Are you, why can't I hear you? Wait, is my, maybe I need to turn up my oh, okay, I think I know what it is. Um
I'm testing, testing. Ooh, my. I see my bubble move.
it was how I was trying to do something with my computer like a couple weeks ago, and I think I messed something up. Cuz
Mm.
I was trying to set it up for like a Zoom meeting, and Zoom is stupid. So um okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I should have. Okay. Okay, can you say something?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Thank you for
Okay,
coming
good.
up, Candy. So
No problem.
yeah, I wanted to hear what you had to say about it. Actually, I wanted to hear what, like, I mean, it was I I guess I was wondering if other people had the same reaction I did, or if other people like felt the same way, or if they had that same gut, not gut, but the same initial reaction. Like, was that their thought, like, wow, I wouldn't expect a guy like this to do this, or this isn't what I would expect this kind of person to look like. Hey, investing. Feel free to come up if you want to, but thank you for dropping by. So, yeah, the topic is this creep, the creep that's in my thumbnail, jumping on women that are jogging at the park, and just how you can't go by somebody's appearance, um, to see like what kind of person they are, and that those types of crimes are not motivated by like excess. Candy?
Hey, Blue. Hey, yes, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
no
was trying to
worries.
type in the chat. Can you? I just want to make sure I'm still heard. So you're right. Um, it's not about looks. It's not about money. It's not about whether you really have access to women or not. For somebody with like a deviant sort of mind, I
Right.
did. I saw that you posted that news story, and I watched it. And um, hmm, I'm not going to say that I was necessarily surprised,
Mm-hmm.
but I did see his like physical appearance,
Right.
and you wouldn't think that someone like him would necessarily have to use force,
Right.
but we see
And
that happening a lot.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
But go ahead, no, you were getting ready to say something.
Um. Oh, yeah. So I think that well, when it comes to that, that I have two thoughts on that. That means,
Hmm.
as I had said, that that's not his motivation. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that he's doing without. That's not his motivation. His motivation is, I guess he wants to hurt somebody, or I don't know if he was planning on killing her. But that's something else that he desires, you know what I mean, just in addition to, like, I guess the act, you know what I mean. So, but the other thing
Hmm.
that I thought was, I don't know, I kind of feel bad about saying this, but do you think that some guys can, I mean, I don't know, maybe some people kind of, this sounds like so messed up what I'm about to say, but maybe um he wanted a challenge, you know what I mean? Does that sound really twisted?
Mm,
You know, because
can
he
you elaborate on that thought?
Okay. So what I mean is, like, say if he um is used to being treated a certain kind of way or having his way with women and stuff like that, and maybe that had kind of lost its appeal or spark as much. And so, cuz you know how they say, well, I'm not going to say that, but yeah. So basically, do you think maybe just the desire for like a challenge could have had something to do with it? You know what I mean? And let me know
Um,
if I'm
in a,
wrong to say that, but
in a twisted kind of way, maybe like you're
yeah.
trying to. I mean, if I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying maybe he got bored and
Yeah.
wanted something a little less vanilla.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. Even though he's only 23, but I mean, but I looked it up and I saw that he does have a violent past. I did see that. Let me see if I can find the news story. I mean, he's actually out. They let him out. And the story I saw, I didn't read all of it, but it said that oh wait, okay, it looks like they revoked his bond. Okay, this story is kind of not old, but it was like a couple weeks ago. So, but he has a history. So let me see.
Hmm.
Um, I don't need this to start playing music. Okay. I mean playing okay. So it says Jacoby Von Trail Tillman is just 23 years old, but he has already spent time in state prison, two local jails, mostly on charges of attacking other people. But he's out on the streets, and the top prosecutor in the region is not happy about it. Nuri Quinn is also
Mm.
not happy to learn that the man who she says attacked her has been arrested again. She recalls the night of July 27, 2022. I was very scared. In that moment, blood and adrenaline were pumping. Quinn was 18 when she encountered Tillman, who was arrested October 10th and charged with attempted sexual battery by strangulation and false imprisonment of a woman on July 25th along the Little Econ Greenway Trail in Orange County. Quinn says 3 years ago she was jogging south near Orange County Fire and Rescue Station number 63 along Goldenrod Road when a man later identified as Tillman came up from behind and grabbed her. This is crazy. Adrenaline was pumping in my body. I didn't know what was going on. Oh my gosh. I just turned around and he was just like trying to go over me. She said she broke free and kept running down Goldenrod Road. And he grabbed her a second time, according to the sheriff's report. Tells her she is so bad before she ran away. But Quinn says the third time he caught her was the most frightening, adding, he grabs both of his hands, he puts it on below, and he grips me. So I'm trying to move like this. I'm like, get off me. I didn't know what was going to happen, if he was going to bring me into the bushes or try to drag me into a corner where he was going to wait, where there is no one, nothing, no, and no light. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? So he finally let go. The only way I got him off of me is he let go, she said. Gwen called 911 and deputies arrested Tillman, charging him with felony false imprisonment and battery. What the fuck? It says additionally in 2022, Tillman was charged in Orange County with attempted second degree murder after a fight, was convicted of aggravated battery. He was arrested twice in Volusia County on half a dozen charges, and in 2023 was convicted of burglary and carrying a concealed firearm and was sent to state prison. He was released last November, just 9 months before he allegedly attacked a woman in East Orange County. So I mean, there's more, but I think okay. So two things come to mind. Reading that.
Hmm.
The first thing is that he has tried this before, right? And the first time he grabbed her, it seems like he was chasing her and he grabbed her and then he chose to let her go, right? This time, the second time that happened this month, he actually choked her out, and I know he pulled down like her shorts, he might have pulled down her underwear as well, but she still survived. So that makes me think, like, is he on the way to, what I mean, becoming like a serial killer? You know what I mean? Like,
So
is
to
he
to
trying?
clarify for the crowd, when you say she, these are two different cases of two different
Yes,
women.
yes. So
One
he
that
had,
previously happened.
yes, in 2022, and then the one that just happened last month. Yeah.
Hmm.
But the second one was more like violent than the first one. So I've heard about like serial killers that they kind of like, I guess you could say, get their feet wet, you know what I mean, in it at first,
Hmm.
and then they kind of work their way into something like that.
They proc-
So
they
mhm.
they oh, what's the word? Um, it's a P word, not protect.
um
Perfect their craft.
yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Well, I
So
think
it starts. It's like when they say they start off with small animals, and this man has not been
yeah,
accused of any sort of serial drilling act,
right.
but I understand where you're going with that. You're saying that
Yeah,
it starts off small with
right.
little acts and grows as the desire grows, and he starts to become more comfortable
Right.
in what he's attempting to do.
Right. Right. And I don't know if he's done, of course we have no way of knowing if he's done anything between 2022 and 2025, but you know, like I said, something was calling him, he wanted to try it again. You know what I mean? And the second time, like I said, um he didn't, well, let me see if I can find what happened to the woman this month. Uh okay.
If I recall correctly,
Hmm.
she was jogging. She saw him behind her
Yeah.
as she was going back to her car, and he actually choked her out. She saw stars. And when
Yeah.
she woke up, she was missing her underwear and her pants, and
Right.
he was seen tossing them like over a fence.
Yeah. You have a good memory. Yeah, that's what happened. So it
I have
says
the
they,
memory of an elephant, unfortunately.
girl, I wish I did, but it says he was charged with attempted second degree murder, attempted sexual battery involving a deadly weapon or physical force, battery by strangulation, and another battery charge with one prior battery offense. So it's interesting to me that his bond was only 95, like $9,500. But they did revoke his bond. I'm not sure what the status is right now. I just happened to see
So you
this.
said it was 9,500, which meant the
Right.
on the 10% he would have paid 950 to get out,
That's Yep, that's
less
crazy.
than 1,000.
Yep, that is absolutely crazy. Um, yep. So let me see. Uh, so yeah, he didn't. I don't know if he tried to kill her. They are charging him with attempted murder, but I wonder if he meant to kill her or if he just intentionally stopped like
Well,
right before. She
What I got from the story was that he has a live-in girlfriend,
uh-huh,
and he
see?
ended up
See?
talking to the live-in girlfriend, and she asked him why he did it, and he said he wanted to, like, he attempted to rape her, but excuse me, grape, but he didn't actually grape her. So there was no penetration in the act, but his
Mhm.
primary reason for doing it was because he wanted to know how it felt to
S
end somebody's life. And the girlfriend says she believed him because he had previously, I want to say within a few weeks of this
mhm.
happening, he had choked her out as well.
Um, so what I think is, I don't buy that. I know that he said something about like he didn't try to, rape her or whatever. He said that he just wanted to see how it felt to kill somebody. But I think he said that maybe due to shame, you know what I mean? Because that type of crime, it has an extra layer of you know what I mean? Like basically like
A layer
people.
of violence is
Yeah, yes. Sometimes people will look at you, worse if you commit that type of crime. You know what I mean? So, um, and then the
well,
fact that, uh-huh,
I'm sure if they do, because in most of these cases, like you wake up and you're missing your underwear and stuff, they're gonna do a grape kit on you.
yeah,
They're gonna do testing. They'll be able to see like if she has bruising, what
right.
kind of force was used. They'll be able to test her for semen and things like that. So
Uh-huh.
if he's lying about that, that will come out
Well,
eventually.
well, no. What I meant is, I don't think he's lying about the fact that he didn't do it, but I think he's lying when he says that that wasn't what his motive was, or that wasn't his original
Hmm.
intent. Like, so even if he didn't actually fully go through with it for some reason, I do believe that that was his intent. Um, yeah,
You're saying it was partial motive, at least. Whether he
yeah,
wanted to end her life or not, the sexual aspect of it still remains the same.
yeah.
There was no need to take off her pants and underwear if that
Right.
wasn't at least a thought on your mind.
Right. And like I said, I think the only reason he's denying it is just because, he probably thinks, it makes it look worse, just the fact that that's what he was trying to do. I mean, killing somebody isn't a great thing to do either, but that being known as that, it adds an extra layer of like shame, I think. So, I think he was just
Especially going into prison, like those times
yeah.
they don't look very kindly on those crimes. I mean, you're not going to get any brownie points by not being a rapist if
Mhm.
you
Right.
attacked a woman and choked her out. Like there, you don't get like, well, at least you didn't grape her. That's not going to happen. But I understand what you mean. Yeah.
But yeah, well, the reason, well, see, I've heard of other cases like that. I do watch like a lot of true crime and stuff like that. I can't think of a particular case. It was maybe some man that had like killed his stepdaughter or something like that, but he denied. He just kept denying. They had got him to admit that he actually like is the one that caused her to disappear, right? But what one thing he would not admit is that it was for like that reason. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
I've heard of
Hmm.
that before. I've heard of that before because I think once that comes into play, then they feel like people are going to be looking at them like they're even worse. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird. But I do think that was his, and plus is he gonna tell his girlfriend that, yeah, I was trying to, which, like I said, I'm not sure why. It's just weird. But I'm not surprised that he had a girlfriend. Like I said, it has nothing to do with that because Ted Bundy had a girlfriend. And I think that the people he was killing, they resembled her. Um, but yeah.
Did you catch the
So
part in this news story where it said that the mother of this individual reached out by accident to the girlfriend, sent her a text
yeah,
message?
yeah, I did see that. Yeah, you remember you remember everything. Yeah, saying something about get on the first plane to Texas or something like that. And
Right.
that's
She was trying to get him to get away from to help him escape, essentially.
yeah, yeah. And um, I I don't know. It just makes I don't know, like, cause I can't imagine. I mean, I can't even imagine. Like, I'm not a mother, so I don't know. Like, but like, really, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but then again, it makes you wonder. Okay, well, is that why he came out the way he did? Because that's how his mom is, or she just that blinded by the love of her son that she um would help him like get away with something like that? Like, why is she not horrified that this is what her son is doing? You know what I mean? I don't know. I
Something tells me she knows exactly who her son is and
mm,
cared more about him not getting caught than actually stopping him from harming anybody.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I think. Yeah, and that's a whole nother conversation. But I do think that. I think he was escalating. I do think he was ramping up because. I think maybe sometimes a person might like go all the way, or complete the killing or whatever the first time, but I think a lot of times they have like little warnings and stuff ahead of time, you know what I mean? And he both of the women that he attacked were jogging, so
Mhm.
I think if he hadn't been caught, eventually this would have turned into somebody's finding a body, like, in the woods or something like that. um
The worst part of it all is that they keep letting him out, like these repeat offenders,
yeah.
especially the ones who are violent in the way that he is.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they constantly being let out? Now, in this case, it said they revoked his bail,
Yeah.
which I'm guessing means that he's probably still locked up right now. But just like, I
Hopefully.
mean, the system kind of failed this woman in the fact that he should have, it sounds like he should have still been behind bars and this would have never happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she said that he was charged with like attempted kidnapping or something like that, but from the way she described it, it was like he really scared her, but he didn't actually, you know,
You're talking about the
harm
original woman
the
from
first one.
2022?
Yeah, he
Okay.
didn't actually physically harm her or like attempt anything like sexual. So, but like I said, that was
He
his.
just never got the chance. Somebody running up, I'm jogging, I'm minding my business, I'm trying to get some exercise, I'm in nature. You
Uh-huh,
run up on me, you're grabbing at my waist, I'm trying to fight you off, I'm asking you what you're doing,
uh-huh.
and like I get away. The only reason why you didn't complete it is because I didn't give you the opportunity to, or
Right,
you didn't have the opportunity. Yeah, so
right.
yeah,
And so,
yeah.
but that's the thing, like, I think maybe he kind of pictured in his mind what it would be like, and then maybe he got kind of thrown off by her reaction, but then that's how he knows the next time to take a different approach, or hey, well, if she does this, this is what I'm gonna do, you know what I mean? So,
And it's
you
just
know,
think about what you read. You said that this man said to her, "You're a bad girl," as she's running away. Like, so to me,
yeah,
I'm wondering if part of his kink is the fact that she was fighting back. Like that
yeah,
got him even more excited.
yeah, yeah, because they said she said that he let her go 3 times, like he let her go and then chased her again, you know what I
Mm.
mean? Because
So
I
that was cat and mouse.
yeah, yeah, yep. And like I said, some people get off on that, like they get off on
Mm.
their victim being scared or afraid. They get off on their victim struggling and stuff like that. And um since he couldn't get that or whatever in his regular day-to-day life, um this is what he felt he had to do to get it. And I do think, like I said, I do think he was ramping up, and I do think that eventually it would have, he would have gone all the way, and maybe he would have kept doing it, you know, because he said, okay, this is another thing I call bullshit on. He said that he wanted to see what it was like or what it felt like to kill somebody, right? I mean,
Mhm.
uh, in order to do that, you don't have to chase women that are jogging in order to do that, so
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, well, why a woman, you know what I mean? Like, what, you know I just think that, I think that's bullshit. I think he's just saying that like to save face, because once again, some people will look at a person worse um for that. Hold on, there's a.
What do you mean, why a woman?
Oh, I'm saying, like, if he said he wants to see how it feels like to kill somebody, so why, it's like his MO is um women specifically, because I've heard of people that had done that just to find out, but um they do it to men or women, you know? So let me see if
But
I can
I
find.
think with him being inexperienced and not like having really grown in his craft,
Yeah.
a woman would be an easier target for him. Look at his physical stature. Like
Yeah.
it sounds like he wanted to pick somebody he could dominate. Like he picked prey for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. And I mean, I guess an argument could be made that he wanted to kill somebody with his hands, but I have heard of people just randomly getting shot just because somebody wanted to see what it felt like. So,
I
I
think
don't
when you
know.
asked about the challenge part of it,
Uh-huh.
if he really wanted a challenge, he would have picked a man who was of the same build or similar build. If you really wanted a challenge when you're trying to take somebody down with bare hands, I don't think
Um,
a challenge. If we go back to it, I think kind of processing that now,
mhm.
he wanted less of a challenge and more of a sort of surefire chance.
Yeah, so I that's why I think that's actually I see what you're saying. Um, but that's kind of why I think it's BS. Like, you know, he doesn't want to be looked at like the creep that's following women, you know, and running up behind them and putting his wrapping his arms around their neck so he just can cop out and say, "Oh, I just wanted to see what it would feel like to kill somebody." You know, I think that's what it is.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say it's complete BS because even when it comes to like DV cases, right?
Mhm.
Somebody punching you or hitting you or kicking you, they say once the abuser gets to the point where they are choking you,
Mhm. Yeah.
they're a lot more likely to truly end your life versus just beating up
Right.
on you, if that makes sense. So like the
Right.
fact that he used strangulation as his motive to take them down says to me that I do think that, you know, killing or deletion was part of his plan. Maybe he just didn't figure it all the way out, or
Yeah.
maybe he
Yeah.
chickened out. Maybe something happened that spooked him to where he didn't complete it. But the fact that he put his hands around her neck,
Mhm.
like if this were DV, they would tell a DV survivor that this man plans to end your life.
Right.
It's a
Right.
matter of time.
I don't doubt that that's what he, you know, that could be what he ultimately wanted to do, but I
Are
just
you
uh-huh.
you're trying to say that he just wants to escape the sexual aspect? He doesn't want that stigma
Right,
on him
right,
in the midst of
exactly. I
this.
didn't want to use the word stigma because it seemed like I'm saying that it shouldn't have stigma, you know. But yeah, I think that that's what I think it is. I think that, you know, that ending her life might have been a part of it, but it was still primarily sexually motivated. Okay, when I say sexually motivated, okay, I don't want to say that like sexually motivated as in like, because I don't want to seem like I'm contradicting myself. So when I say sexually motivated, I'm not talking about like just him getting sex, because obviously, like I said, he can get that, you know, he's not going to have a problem getting that. When I say sexually motivated, I mean like whatever his more sinister like desires would be that you know he wouldn't share with like the average person. If that's kind of like what he feels that he needs to get sexual gratification, you know, I think that just the whole like violence aspect of it is what gets him off, or the force aspect of it is what
Hmm.
gets him off. So that's what I mean when I say sexually motivated. Not because it is about power, right? I'm not saying that it's oh it's not about power. What I'm saying is that's what turns him on about it. The power aspect is what turns him on about it. So
Yeah, I mean, they have the like what sadomasochism, the term for that. So,
yeah,
um, it could be that choking somebody out along with the like maybe that is also part of what gets him off.
yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. Um
So I don't know. Like I don't know if you want to post in the chat the news link so people
yeah,
can see what we're talking about.
yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Uh, Actually, I'll see if I can play it as
Okay.
well. And the thing is, I don't know what I'm doing, so I don't know, but we'll see. But I'm
So
gonna.
if you open up the video
Mm-hmm.
in YouTube, you can then use the share button
Okay.
to share the actual video. You'd have to add the video to the stage in order to share it.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Okay, I'm gonna First, let me click on that. I'm gonna copy and paste.
And
And
Blue, it's an open panel if you want to come up. You don't have to, but
yeah,
I'm just letting you know. She wanted a conversation with not, just not just me and her, but if you want to come up and have a conversation.
yeah. And no, I don't expect anybody to come up here and like bare their soul or anything like that. But I did, I was. It's like I hesitated to even make the first video initially because I didn't want it to come out like like I'm saying that I just didn't want to come out in a fucked up way. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, oh,
Okay,
he was
let me see if I can help you with this. Let me
yeah.
see if I can help you. You don't want to put it off that, it's shocking that somebody who could be perceived as an attractive person would
Right,
have these sort of proclivities.
right,
But we have to keep in mind that, just because you are an attractive person doesn't mean that you're not a fucked up person. Like
right.
I can even think of, and I'm going to use like say a different world. I know
Mm-hmm.
it's TV and people hate when you go to like TV or movie examples, but I don't know if you recall the episodes like where Freddie was dating this guy. Was it the Bumper? Is that his name in real life? Bumper? No, that
You
wasn't
know what?
Bumper. The
I
Bumper
do.
played
I
a
should
different role in
know.
a different world. It was somebody else, but basically he was an attractive guy. He was on the football, not football. He was a basketball player. Like I don't know if he was a quarterback or whatever, but it came out that the guy was like a rapist type. So
Yeah.
he was T Mac. T Mac, is that his name? The guy who played Bruce Leroy in Show Enough. Oh God, I'm messing that all the way up. Y'all gotta forgive me. It's been a long time. Um, but anyways, what happened on the show was he was the basketball player, popular guy. All the girls loved him,
Mm-hmm.
and then he was going out on dates with these women, and it came out that he was like basically date raping them.
Yeah.
And when he was talking to Ron about it, I think Ron was playing on the basketball team with him, or they were playing just basketball in the gym. He was basically saying, some of these girls like to play hard to get, and you got to
Mm-hmm.
help them out a little bit. They want to act like they don't want it, and you got to
Yeah.
play the game with them. And so I think Dwayne was listening, and like the guys were like, "What are you talking about? Like that sounds not quite right."
Right.
And so it came out that one of the women that he had gone out with came into the gym at the time, and he like was trying to greet her, and she kind of ran away scared.
Mm-hmm.
And then he admitted, oh, she's like a cat. She's like a feral cat. And the guys figured out that basically he had raped that girl. And in
Yeah.
the meantime, he had set his eyes on Freddie, and Freddie, being green and naive, she was just smitten with the fact that this popular guy was like into her.
Uh-huh.
And
Yep.
Dwayne was trying to
Yep.
warn her, like, hey, Freddie, like, I don't think you should go out with this guy. Like, he kind of had heard the stories of what this guy, his mindset, how he talked. And so Freddie ended up going to like a dance with him that night, getting into it with Dwayne because she was feeling like he was just trying to stand in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm going to like spoiler, but this like a what 20-year-old show or whatever. So, anyways, he showed up in the middle of this guy like trying to grape her on a heel in a car,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
basically he ended up stopping it from happening.
Right.
But the whole thing, the point of the me mentioning this is that they wanted to show even back then in the 90s or whatever that a rapist doesn't have a specific look. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
the stranger danger with the white van. This
Right.
is a man who can be charming. This is a man who can be
Exactly.
very
Exactly.
friendly. He can be the type that you would never think. Like I
And they
said, Trey
look and they
Songz
can
having,
use that to their advantage, they
right.
can actually be, I think they can actually be more dangerous because they do have a charm that like maybe somebody else wouldn't have, you know what I mean? And they can use that to kind of like I said, like Ted Bundy did. um well,
It's
like I said, I don't.
disarming. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
exactly.
Very
Exactly.
disarming.
Hmm. And I don't think Ted Bundy was attractive, but they kept saying how charming he was. But my point is, he used that not to just be a womanizer, get a lot of women, and sleep with a lot of women, but he actually used that to lure his victims. So
Hmm.
wait, so for the as far as the video, I see like where it says share, like the little television screen. Is it share
Hmm.
screen? Is it share screen?
No, you don't want to share
Right.
screen. Actually, yes, I think in that share option, it's going to give you the option to either share the screen or to share a specific screen. And you're going to choose the one that has the video loaded. If you want to already have the video loaded and
Uh-huh.
ready to go, just on pause.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I gotcha. So let me
Okay,
see.
and so once you select to share that specific screen, then it's going to show the box with add, and you can add it to the stage and then press play to show it.
Okay, let's try to do that. Screen share these two monitors. Screen work on good computers. Computers with audio, share audio. Checkbox in the next window. Okay, I see. And it's also share tab audio. Chrome tab window. Okay, Chrome tab. All right. Share and okay, I see it. Okay, you can see it, right?
And thank you to any, I see it on the screen. I have it open.
Okay.
For anybody who's coming in, can you all hit the like button? Thank you for coming in. If you want to join the panel,
Yeah,
Chaco's got an
thanks.
open panel tonight.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. I just this is an impromptu live. I wasn't expecting to go live tonight. But this is just something I don't know. I don't know. It just something about it was like, man. Let me see if I can. Um, let me see. I'm trying to see if I can make it. Okay, so all right. I'm about to press play. Um. Oh wait, can
I
y'all
don't
hear
hear
it?
the audio.
Okay.
No audio.
Oh wait, I think I know why. I have it. Do I have it on mute? Um. Wait.
Do you see the um, volume icon for the YouTube?
Yeah. Y'all gotta excuse me, y'all. I don't know what I'm doing. Wait. Okay. Let me see something. Um. Do I have it? I'm thinking. Oh yeah, I do have it on mute. Can you hear it now?
You took
Did
it
you
off
hear
the
that?
stage. You have to add it back.
Okay, but you heard it, right? Oh no, what you didn't hear it because I took it off the stage.
Right.
I'm goofy, y'all. Okay.
It's all right.
Um.
It's all right. Take your time. We here.
so. Share. All right.
Looks like it's
And
coming back.
all
Okay.
right.
There
Tonight,
we go.
this
I hear audio.
23-year-old man is in jail accused of trying to rape and strangle a woman on a trail in Orange County. This happened in July on the Little Econ Greenway.
The woman attacked from behind near Yates Road. She was able to escape, though. West News' Gail Pascal Brown is live outside of the sheriff's office tonight. And Gail, this was obviously a scary situation for a lot of people who run on that trail every day.
No doubt. Working on a tip, looking at surveillance video, and talking to witnesses, the Sheriff's Department Sex Crimes Unit was able to make an arrest. He is 23-year-old Jacoby Tillman. He is charged with attempted sexual battery, battery by strangulation, and false imprisonment. Now, he was arrested today and taken to the Orange County Jail. Orange County Sheriff's investigators say Jacoby Tillman attacked a woman from behind while she was
Okay.
running.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but like when you're just watching something, right? And it's like I'm not even trying to be funny. I promise you, I'm not. But it's like I was watching, right? And it's kind of like I forgot what the fuck the story was about. You know what I'm saying? When he came walking out,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had to catch
Mm-hmm.
myself, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Like what? Like what is going on here?
Jail.
That lets you know his ass really is crazy. You know what I mean? It's kind of like uh let's just say like how you can be okay, let's just say you're trying to listen to something, right? But there's like a lot of background noise, you know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to hear.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like by him actually looking the way that he does, it's kind of like getting rid of all the background noise, because anything that would cloud your judgment as far as like what I'm saying is that just shows that it really is just the way that he is. If that makes sense. I don't know. I'd be making weird analogies and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is you can't there's no type of like excuse or not that there would be an excuse. But what I'm saying is it just lays bare that there are some people and that's just really just how they are. If that makes sense. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
So if I can try and surmise what you're saying, basically, looking at him physically, you wouldn't think that he would have a problem getting sexual access to women if that's what he wanted, right? Because he
Right,
came
right,
out, he has a phenotype, a body that most women would find attractive, right? And then you look at him and his face looks a little bit deranged. Like you walking out, you can see the crazy in this man, right?
right.
But just looking at him phenotype, right? If you ran into him, say in a more appropriate situation in a club or some situation like that, you wouldn't think that this would be a man who would just be off the bat a rapist. You know, you would
R-
think you
Yeah,
have access, you have options, you wouldn't need to necessarily do this. Is that
yeah, yeah, but more
okay?
than that though. Um, because okay, so let's just say if he, I mean, you say he looked crazy. I mean, I don't know. To me, he just like a regular nigga. To me,
Rewind that and look that man in his eyes and tell me you don't see some crazy.
Orange County
Cause
Sheriff's investigators say Jacoby Tillman
I
attacked
mean,
a woman
he
from
look regular to
behind
me.
while
Like
she was running.
he just looked like a
nah.
nigga.
Nah,
Like a nigga that's probably up to no good, but you know what I'm saying. But
that man got dead eyes.
well, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. But
You gonna have to look past the middies. Look past the middies. Ignore the abs.
right.
Look him in his eyes
No, I
alone. Cover
mean he's
everything else
handsome.
up.
No, he's handsome to me. Like, cause at first I saw his body and I saw his face, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But no, what I'm trying to say is, imagine if he just looked like a just a complete creep, you know, like just some old dude with like a beer gut, with like a neck beard, you know, and big thick glasses on, you know what I mean, just look like a straight geek, and it was him. Then it would be like, oh yeah, like he looks like he would do something like that, or yeah, he looks like a creep or whatever like that. And it kind of, just to know that he is attractive, that lets you know that any other, like any other thing that you might be thinking to kind of explain it away, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you know how sometimes with, okay, put it like this is another analogy, right? Do you ever watch a news story, right, and then it's like something that's really like bad, but it's like you just read, and then you kind of, it's like subconsciously you're looking for something to explain like why that happened. Then you see something that says, oh, but they did this, and you're like, okay, well, I would never do that. So but it's kind of like a way of making yourself feel secure, you know what I mean, after reading about such a horrible thing, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I'm
Yeah.
trying to follow. I'm trying
Okay,
to
okay,
follow.
let me try to give an example. um let's just say, okay, you see a story about like, this was a real story, like three girls, or it actually happened more than once, but let's just say you see a story about like three girls that got into an accident with an 18 wheeler or something like that, and then they ended up passing away, right? And
Hmm.
you like, oh shit, like, you know, that is so scary, and that's why I hate like driving on the highway, and then, you know, these 18 wheelers are, you know, crazy, and they giving anybody a CDL now, blah blah. But then so you kind of keep reading, and you see that they were like out drinking and stuff like that, and they didn't have a designated driver, and then you kind of like not feel better, but you think, oh, okay, well, that's why, that explains it, like I would never do that, you know what I mean? But
Okay, I
it's
see
like,
what you're saying. A
yeah,
justification
so
for why this happened,
right, or
sort of thing.
it more so, it's more like it's, I would say it's more so like you trying to comfort yourself, because the world is scary, you know, so it's like you're looking for a way to think that that it couldn't happen to you, you know what I mean? I don't know,
Mm,
but that's an analogy. So I guess what I'm saying is, if this guy looked a certain way, then people would kind of feel, I think, well, I'm not going to speak for people, but what I'm saying is, let's just say he did look like a creep. You know that he looks like a creep, right? So that means you wouldn't be fooled by this person because he looks like a creep, you know? Or like you might
I
think,
get
oh,
what you're saying.
yeah,
I think we have to remove the pretty privilege from it though, and like, because that gives a level of bias where creep equals disgusting,
e-
ugly, decrepit, fat. Like you're
exactly.
looking for all of the negative things to why this makes a person a creep. We be forgetting that creeps also come in
Exactly.
handsome, tall, strong, rich.
Exactly.
You
So
know.
it's exactly, but that's precisely what I mean. So it's like, it's I guess cognitive dissonance, you know? Because maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe other people, they don't feel the same way, but just that was just my thought when I saw it. Like it that you can't just say, hey, this person looks like a creeper. You know what I mean? You can't go by that. And just the fact that that was my thought, oh, he doesn't look like he would do something like that. That's the scary part about it. But that just goes to show we need to kind of like unlearn some of our biases, and just start treating everybody, basically being careful of everybody. Um,
Right.
but
That's why I brought up Trey Songz earlier with his
yeah.
accusations. You had people like Kiki Palmer, you had people like Selena Powell, coming out and telling stories of him, acting real crazy and depraved. And then you get
Hmm.
women who are saying, they're at signings with him and he just reached out and grabbed a titty. And
Yeah.
like, unfortunately, I wouldn't think just looking, first of all, he's a singer, R&B singer. He's conventionally attractive. A lot of women, like him. You wouldn't think that he would have to go and do things like that, but it goes to show that whatever is wrong in your brain has nothing to do with your physical appearance.
Exactly. That's it. That's it. That's it right there. That's what I'm trying to say as far as how the guy looks, because you can't like pull out the excuse of like, oh, he looks like a creep. Oh, I would have known just based on, how he looked. Look at him. You know what I mean? You can't go by that. Now it has nothing to do with appearance. It has nothing to do with like, you know, I guess maybe the typical things people would look for. It just the fact of knowing that anybody can have that inside of them, that lets you know it's a whole separate like entity by itself. You know what I mean? And it could come in any
Hmm.
package. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? Let me know if you disagree with
No,
something I'm
it does.
saying.
No, I
Okay.
mean, I hear what you're saying and I understand what you're saying. It's just like for my thought process, like growing up, they always warned us about stranger
Yeah.
danger, stranger danger. And true enough, dangers can come from strangers, but the more dangerous people are the ones that you least expect. It's the family member, it's the date that you're going on. Like it's all of the dangers that
Right.
people forget
Yeah.
to warn you about that you find
Exactly.
out about in the moment.
Exactly. It really is a stranger. In this case, he was a stranger, but it's it doesn't necessarily come from where you would expect. So
Today and taken to the Orange County Jail. Orange County Sheriff's investigators say Jacoby Tillman
I ain't
attacked a
shit. We
woman
wanted to keep
from
finding
behind while she was running on the Little Econ Greenway near
it.
Yates
Yeah,
Road
that close.
on July
A little bit though.
25th of this year.
Run it one more
Run July
time. One
25th
more time.
near Yates Road, Little Econ Greenway near Yates Road behind. Sheriff's
Let me see.
investigated today and taken to the Orange County Jail. Orange County Sheriff's investigators say Jacoby Tillman attacked a woman from behind while she was running on the Little
Right. I'm
Econ
still
Greenway near Yates Road on July 25th of this year. Runners and walkers we spoke to say you have to be careful.
Anything can happen at any time. So it's always good to walk with a partner, walk with a friend.
The victim said she went for a run alone around 8 a.m. She said once she got halfway through the run and returned to her car, she noticed an unknown man behind her. Moments later, she said he grabbed her and wrapped both arms around her neck, choking her, causing her to see stars. The report says she blacked out, and when the victim woke up, she was still face down and realized that her shorts and underwear were not on anymore. Detectives also looked at.
Wait, that's crazy. That shit
Hmm.
crazy, because that's some straight nightmare fuel creep shit. And if I saw him
And
at
you
the
and you
damn
think about it, the
uh
time. She like they always tell you not to go jogging at night. I got it real bad. Like I have a friend of mine who's always on my case because I'm leaving the house at night. I like to go out at
oh
night. And they're
yeah,
like,
oh
what
no,
what's wrong with you? And so like she's doing this in broad daylight. Like,
right,
you
right,
would think that this would be the most safe time, but there really isn't any safe time when there's a predator around.
right. And they actually, like, I can think of a lot of cases where women were attacked and killed when they were jogging. I'm sure that some people go there just to find them. But if let's just say I was out running at 8 a.m. and I saw him like on the trail, I would have been like, okay, yeah, he coming, he getting his steps in or whatever, he's making his little daily run. That's what I would be thinking. I'm like, oh, he keep himself in good shape. I wouldn't be thinking, oh, let me watch out for this guy, or like, what is he doing? Is he, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be thinking like, oh, he looks suspicious to be out working out. You know what I mean? That makes sense.
Yeah. No, I
But
mean, he looks like somebody who works out, so
yeah,
he wouldn't be somebody who stands out versus
yeah,
45-year-old balding white dude with
yeah.
six pack. Now, instead of a six pack, he's got a beer gut and all of that stuff. Like,
Right,
you don't look like you belong on this trail. Like, I
right.
get what you're saying with that. Like, he
Yeah.
wouldn't stand out as much because of the activity.
Exactly. Yeah. And then just to know that this is the type of shit he's going around doing, like, what?
Some video surveillance, time-stamped around 9:05, of a man described by one of the witnesses throwing the victim's clothes over this fence
Just
at this Winter
throw it
Park
up.
auto exchange
Like, what the
business.
fuck?
Here, the suspect is seen going in and outside of a building wearing a white tank top, blue shorts, and black slides.
Just crazy.
When we walk, we don't have nothing in our ears to watch each other's back in case one goes to the restroom. You know, you always have your ears open just in case anybody tries to sneak up behind you.
According to the arrest report, investigators spoke with Jacoby Tillman's girlfriend, who he lived with, and she asked him what really happened. He said, "I didn't rape the lady. I was trying to kill the lady." She asked him why, and he said, "Because I wanted to know what it was like to choke someone out." She said this was not a surprise to her because a few weeks earlier, she and Jacoby got into an altercation where he choked her to the point where she passed out.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Now, the arrest
And
report
here's,
also
can you
says that the
pause it for me for a
girlfriend got a
second?
text message.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that just make, like, I told you I watched this already, and I know exactly what the news was going to say, but it still makes my skin crawl because
Mm-hmm.
you're on the phone with your boyfriend who is admitting to this horrendous crime, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're asking him why, and you say, "Oh, well, that makes sense because you just did that to me, girl." What?
Um, that's a whole nother but I honestly, I think these women be messing with any goddamn body. But yeah, that's all I can really say about that. And that's all I'm
Oh,
not
he
gonna.
did it to me. What?
Right.
Like,
I was like,
I'm scratching my head on that one. He
yeah,
wouldn't. You would. Oh. Mm.
I don't know. I guess they just really need somebody to go half on the rim. I don't know. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know.
Today by
He don't look that goddamn good for the
mistake
choking
from
somebody
Tillman's
else.
mother,
You
telling
just be like, oh,
him to
well,
get a
like, what the fuck?
boarding pass from Delta Airlines to catch a flight tomorrow to Texas. Tillman is in the Orange County Jail. Covering Orange County, live in Orlando, I'm Gail Pascal Brown, West.
Okay, so on that, on his mom, like trying to give him a way out. Like, when I tell you, my mom would never, you know what I mean? So sometimes I see this shit and I'm just like, that's why they came out like that. That's why that's the way that they are, because their parents, trying to save them from consequences and shit. Like, how the hell?
Not even. That's not even the worst part. Not even just save him from consequences. You want him to go to Texas and unleash the
Yeah.
horrors that he was unleashing on these Orange County women, on
Uh-huh.
these Texas women. Like, y'all,
Yeah, she knows he's
congrats for
dangerous.
catching him, because who knows what he would have done to the people in Texas, the women in Texas, Charlie.
Yeah, it was only gonna get worse. It was only gonna get worse. But yeah, it's one thing for your parents to be helping you on your side when you're in the right, you know what I mean? But to be in the wrong, no, my mama wouldn't go for that shit. I know she wouldn't.
So that tells me that his people know exactly who and what he is,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, they probably, that whole nature versus nurture
Hmm.
argument. Something tells me he had a lot in his background and his environment fucked up, especially with the way that his mother thinks.
Yeah.
Like, no, there's like, if I knew a family member had done something like that to people, there's no way I'd be trying to harbor them and help them escape and get away. Nah,
Um,
not that. You
you
can
know
do a
what?
lot of stuff. You could rob a bank and some other stuff. When you get to the point of doing sex crimes, I want your ass locked up too.
You know
Sorry.
what? I think it's way more common than you would think. Um, I think it's way more common than you think. Like my friend, um, she said that she was being molested by like one of her older cousins or something like that. Maybe from the time she was like 12 to the time she was like 16 or something like that. And she says that now anytime she brings it up, what they say is, oh, all y'all was kids back then, and you know what I mean. And so he tried to go and become a police officer, and she went down
Ooh.
there. Yes, she went down there. When she found out, she went down there and she told them like what happened, and so he ended up not getting the job. But her family was mad at her for going in, you know, telling it. You know what I mean? But he's probably the kind of person that seeks out that kind of job. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, because it
he
makes
was
you the
just.
law. So then
Can you imagine?
now who's going to ever lock you up? You part of the boys in blue. They don't follow laws. I
Yeah,
mean, come on.
but and they can. But the thing is, yeah, and they can stop anybody at any time of day, any reason. It's just creepy. Because I saw
There
like.
was a, I don't know if you recall, there was a white guy who was, he went to jail for grape of, I think, 8 black prostitutes. Basically, he was picking them up
Yeah,
for various charges.
yeah,
Did you see that
I
story
did.
from
That
a
was a
couple
few
years
years
ago?
ago. Yeah, yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember that. Um, yeah, I think a lot of those people go into that profession just like for messed up reasons. But I was thinking of a different story. Let me see if I can. But I watch I be watching like forensic files. But there was another
Hmm.
story of a guy who was a cop, and he stopped a woman on the way home from her job like in the middle of the night, and was, I guess, doing something inappropriate, and she said she was going to tell on him. She was going to report him, and he attacked her. She got out and ran like into the woods, and he ended up killing her. So I
Wow.
don't know. I think that some people just think, okay, it's just going to be like a free for all. So I do think that's why he wanted that kind of job. And I think that my friend, she was very courageous to put a stop to that. She crazy.
Imagine if he had have had the protection of a badge and the things
Yep.
that he would have been able to get away with,
Yep. Yep.
especially not having, especially when you have so many enablers surrounding you, all of these
Yeah.
people who covered up what you did and had you face no consequence. Like,
Yep.
that's what breeds a lot of the narcissistic traits that people have, is the fact that everybody allowed you to get, you had no accountability, no
Mm-hmm.
consequence. And I think that entitlement only grows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And oh, and like you were talking about that guy from a few years ago, he was able to target women that he felt like would be voiceless, in the
Exactly. Who's going to
community.
believe you anyway? You're a prostitute and you're
Right.
black, and I'm
Right.
doing this in low income neighborhoods. So
Right.
even if you do tell, nobody's going to give a shit. Like,
Right.
that's the mentality. But a few of them ended up being brave enough to go through with reporting him and actually getting somebody to give a damn, and they got justice. He ended up getting locked up.
Mm-hmm.
And he was another one who was young. If I'm not mistaken, he was in his 20s, his mid 20s as well when he did it, when he got caught. And these were
Yes.
like older black women.
What was his name? I can't think of his name. But I know exactly
You
who
can
you're talking
probably type it in as a cop. I don't remember his name, but a cop attacks or rapes 8 black women or something like that. I'm sure if you type that in, it'll probably come up.
about. Yeah. Oh, I know what it was. Daniel Holtzclaw. His name was Daniel
Yeah,
Holtzclaw.
that's him. Daniel sure was.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, and then he was like all big and brawny and stuff too.
Hmm.
So, um,
He was not
just
not an unfortunate looking officer. He is just,
he looked
some
crazy
people,
if
I
you ask
think.
me. That's a crazy
Well, I
looking.
mean, physical body, but like, yeah, the crazy is always in the eyes. That's what you got to look at. Eyes. The
Yeah,
eyes gonna give you away every time.
yeah. He was half Asian, but
Hmm.
let me see if I can find a. Well, anyway, Daniel Holtzclaw. Anyway, yeah, he's another like big buff guy that works out and stuff like that. Yeah, they got some pictures of him like without his shirt on and stuff like that. So, it's just I think it's um it's just a predator drive within them that's
Hmm.
not fulfilled by having normal sexual interactions. They need more than that.
Right.
They need for the person to be afraid, or demeaned. You know what I mean? They need to feel like they're getting away with something. You know what I mean? They have to feel like they're doing something naughty, or
It's probably, and then the adrenaline rush that probably comes with that.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
What is
Too new.
SDPD? What is that?
SD. Wait, where you see
Blue
that?
typed it in the Blue typed it in the chat. SDPD.
Oh,
SDPD.
was San Diego?
San Diego?
I don't know, like South
Is that
Dakota.
San Diego, Blue?
um. Mm, but,
Yeah. So just, well, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You can finish playing it.
oh yeah. I it would have been nice if more people would have come through. But thank you for coming through, Candy. But I'm gonna play the video. Like, I'm not saying I'm about to leave, but I'm about to play the
It's 23.
just for good measure. Yeah, but it's a Monday night, and like I said, this was just really impromptu. And then I didn't want to, like, what I was thinking, I didn't want to like write it on my wall, because you know how people I don't know. I feel like we should be able to talk about issues, right? But a lot of times people would shame you for being honest, you know? So, like, let's just say if I would have said on my wall, "Hey, I know it's wrong, but I honestly am shocked just based on his appearance." And then, like, I didn't want people to be like, you know, "Oh, you stupid, you know that it's not about that, blah, blah, blah." You know what I mean? People start trying to come through acting like they're perfect or whatever like that. When the
I
whole
mean,
Mhm.
people, I get what you're saying. The internet is a crazy place, and a lot of people don't want to let you just have authentic opinions,
Exactly.
right or wrong or indifferent. Just let me get my shit off. If you don't agree with it, you can just skip past the post. But a lot of people, want to come and wag their fingers at you and tell you why you're wrong. So I get what you're saying.
Right. And I think it does prevent important conversations from being had when people can't like speak plainly, or be honest, or everybody's going to be acting like they're perfect. But really my whole point in drawing attention to this is, like, I'm saying, hey, I um fell for what that what we are all told not to fall for, right? Which is thinking that you can read somebody just based on their appearance. And that's
hmm
actually like why I wanted to um bring it to the forefront. um
I mean, it's a good stream that you're having right now, because it's a reminder to women to not be too careful. Don't let your guard down just because you
mhm,
look at this person and you think like they wouldn't have a reason to do that to me. Like, look at him.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to keep in mind that danger can come from anywhere and anybody, especially if you're out alone walking on a trail. Like, some of the good advice that I heard, or good points that the people were making, is not to have your ears blocked off. When I go walking, and I usually do walk in the morning, I have a habit of walking at night too. I try not to do that anymore.
girl, be
Don't
safe,
jump on
girl.
me.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, but
Morning,
I carry guns,
morning
girl.
is safe too, girl.
I'll listen. I'll put 28 hot in you.
All right
28
now.
bullets if I got to.
You all right
But
now, you better.
so, but I'm just saying, I try not to put myself in situations that would increase my chances of things like this happening to me. However,
Mhm,
I also don't allow that to stop me from living my life. So some of the things that we can kind of take away from this as women is to be cautious, to always keep your head on a swivel and stay at the
mhm,
ready, to carry things with you. Even if you're in a state like New York where you can't really carry a gun, keep
mhm.
scissors, keep
Yeah,
something on you, like keep some sort of sharp object, keep, like they have those handheld alarm things that you can like
yeah,
and then go in somebody's ear and shock them or whatever. Like, you kind of gotta get ready and stay ready so you don't have to get ready again, kind of things. My point.
yeah. They got them brass knuckles that look. It's like it has
Right.
they have the points on them. It look like a kitty cat.
hmm
I think that's illegal
Even
in
with the
New York.
chopsticks, like the chopsticks that you can put in your hair. You know how people used to wear those chopsticks, or some of those chopsticks have like points on the end, or
Yeah,
there's all kinds of ways to armor up so that
yeah.
you give yourself a fighting chance. Because hand-to-hand combat, unless you are trained in it, good
Mhm.
luck with that against a man of his stature and size.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think like, to your point, they look for people that are not paying attention. They look to catch people unaware. So But let me play this one more time just for good measure. All right.
Tonight, this 23-year-old man is in jail accused of trying to rape and strangle a woman on a train.
I'm gonna just not say nothing, right? Because I feel like it would be inappropriate, right? So I'm just not gonna say nothing. But
You know
more I
what?
have.
But you're human for that. Like, okay, I'm not gonna hold you. You are human. Think about that. Think about Prison Bay. You remember Prison Bay?
Yeah, yeah, dude, yeah,
So
yeah.
like, I ain't gonna judge you for it. I'm just saying it's a human response. You can't help what you are attracted to, even if it comes in a package of deviance. Like, I'm glad we know what this man is, and I hope he gets locked up for a very long time. But like,
Uh-huh.
it's probably a lot of good looking people in jail right
Yeah,
now, unfortunately. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
yep,
we just got to remember that they're in there for a reason, and
yep.
leave them where you found them. Don't pick them up.
Right, right. See that again.
Tonight, this 23-year-old man is in jail accused of trying to rape and strangle a woman on a trail in Orange County. This happened in July on the Little Econ Greenway.
The woman attacked from behind near Yates Road. She was able to escape, though. West 2's Gail Pascal Brown is live outside of the sheriff's office tonight. And Gail, this was
So,
obviously a scary situation.
she didn't mention attempted murder, but so maybe that's a charge that was added later, because the article that I was reading a little while ago said he was charged with attempted murder, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it says attempted first degree murder, attempted sexual battery involving a deadly weapon or physical force, battery by strangulation, and another battery charge with one prior battery offense. Yeah, so
He's a repeat offender. At what point? At what point do we decide like he's a danger to society? He can't be rehabilitated, and he is progressing as and
yep,
getting more violent. Like,
exactly. And I'm gonna that's another. You know what? I was okay earlier today. I was watching something, and it was this Asian man, right? And he was planning a mass shooting. So, but they found like little cryptic stuff that he was saying, and like he was displaying guns and stuff like that, and they could tell he was really angry with his church. And he ended up showing up at the church. He was armed, but he had a concealed carry. They say he wasn't supposed to be in the church with that anyway. But the it was his former church, but they called the police. But he was in there for like 20 minutes before the cops even came. So, and he had like extra bullets in his car and stuff like that. So that made me wonder. I was kind of, as I was watching it, I was kind of worried, because the thing is, he didn't actually do anything. You know what I mean? Like, yet, So
right, the
I
yet is
feel like,
important. Yet is
yeah.
important.
And I feel like that's a problem with when you see stuff like this, um if you know that somebody is dangerous, right? Dangerous, and they could have done something, they were on their way to doing something, or they were prevented from doing it. But the problem is you can't. Well, I was worried that, like, okay, well, since he didn't actually do it, then what? Well, all we can do is just go and visit him and give him a warning, and then after he does it, then we can put him in prison. You see what I'm saying? It's just real messed up. But they actually ended
Well,
up. Uh-huh.
I was gonna say I think it depends on how much evidence they find of his intent to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, he was trying to explain it away, talking about he writes stories and there was an alternate character and all this other bullshit. But they ended up giving him like 25 years. But I watched that today and I was
Good.
like, oh shit. I was like, okay, yeah. Yeah, they gave him like 25 years. His name was Ryu Jang, like something like that. Yeah, it was an Asian
Sounds
man.
Korean.
Yeah, Rui Jang. So RUI.
RY.
No,
Say
no.
again.
It was RUIJIANG. Um,
Hmm.
so, but that also reminds me of another story I saw the other day, or maybe it was yesterday. It was this man, like he was like a 53-year-old man, and he was out talking to people's kids and stuff like that, and trying to show them something in the trunk of his car and stuff. And they did arrest him for something like enticement of a child or something like that. But it just made me wonder, okay, well, okay, he did get arrested, right? But it is us knowing his intent, but him not having the opportunity to put it into play, right? How do you address that as far as like the justice system and stuff like that, when you know, hey, this person is dangerous, they have ill intent, but they haven't done
So,
any.
in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
once the justice system fails, if he were to get out and he had a lesser charge where he ended up serving months or like community service, and you know that this person, like, that show the fact that he was trying to get kids into his
Mm-hmm.
car and doing like
Yeah.
the steps to become more
Straight
violent,
crazy.
that's when the community has to get involved. That's when they have to harass him. The parents need to go
Mm-hmm.
around the neighborhood posting up his picture and his
Yeah.
charges and what he attempted to do until you shame him out of the neighborhood. Like
Yeah.
that, the community has to take charge at that point. If
Mm-hmm.
it were me and he lived around me, yeah, we'd make him real uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a woman did tell him, "Hey, get away from my kids or stop talking to my kids or whatever," because it was creepy. But so seeing something like this guy right here, because he didn't um for some reason he didn't go all the way. It's like a double-edged sword, because one, okay, of course we're glad that the woman is safe, right? But then if he doesn't get a harsh enough penalty, then you know that he's gonna do it again. So it's just kind of, you know, I don't
I
know.
think just based off of how much he escalated and in his criminal past, they're
Mm-hmm.
going to have a hard time taking it easy on him. If that judge is worth any bit of their salt,
Mm-hmm. Well,
um,
they gave him a
no, I
ninety-five
didn't say
hundred
that
dollar
right.
bond though. See, so
But you
I don't
said they
know.
revoked it though, right?
Yeah, they did.
They
Somebody
revoked it. So
did.
so,
Yeah.
so it could have just been justice system like bureaucracy bullshit why they had to give him that bond, but then somebody fought on the back end to like I don't know. I'd have to go into the specifics of
Uh-huh.
the case and look into it for real, but I think with everything that's going on, I'm seeing more and more like these judges who have made the mistake of
Oh,
being too lenient and had things happen to people because of their leniency. I
yeah.
think it's making more judges not go that route and like start trying to really hold these people accountable where they can
Mm-hmm.
within the bounds or confines of the
Mm-hmm.
law.
So this is why he got his bail revoked. This dude crazy. Says after the release, Orange County Sheriff John Mina expressed outrage about the decision in a post on social media. This is atrocious. He should never have been released, Mina said. In the motion to revoke bond, prosecutors argued that after Tillman was released, he posted on TikTok and made comments toward a witness, thus violating the terms of his release. So not only is he crazy, he's also an idiot. Yeah, so it says he was supposed to have no contact with the victim or witnesses, either directly or indirectly, and not return to the scene. But I guess that was too
So
hard
he
for him to.
tampered with a witness, which is why they revoked his bond.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. So yeah, yep. Let me
Hmm.
see.
Tonight, this 23-year-old man is in jail accused of trying to rape
But
and
yeah,
strangle
this
a
is
woman on a
crazy.
trail
Like,
in Orange County. This
I see
happened
what
in
you're saying
July on the
about
Little
crazy. I
Econ
don't think it's.
Greenway.
The woman attacked
Look
from
him in
behind
his
near
eyes.
Yates
I see
Road. She
the
was.
look on his
A
face
woman
as
on
he's coming
this
out.
23.
That man got a crazy look.
I mean,
If
he's
you look,
handsome,
if I was, let me
but.
tell you, if
Hmm.
you were on my walking trail and you gave me those eyes, I'd be on high alert. I'd
but
be
you
on
know,
high alert.
but
So I'd be
how they
ready
be
to take
trying
your
to look
ass clean
sexy.
down.
Probably trying to look sexy for the cameras and shit. But no, what makes it that, like I said, it makes it even more crazy, because it's like, what the like, dude, you are completely fucking out of your fucking mind. That means you don't have any type of excuse, rationalization, nothing. I mean, you're just straight crazy. Like,
Tonight, this
Hey
23-year-old man
Zero,
is in jail
welcome in.
accused
Thank
of
you.
trying to rape and strangle a woman on a trail in Orange County. This happened in July
hey,
on the Little
Zero.
Econ Greenway.
The woman attacked from behind near Yates Road. She was able to escape, though. West News' Gail Pascal Brown is live outside of the sheriff's office tonight. And Gail, this was obviously a scary situation for a lot of people who run on that trail every day.
No doubt. Working on a tip, looking at surveillance video, and talking to witnesses, the Sheriff's Department Sex Crimes Unit was able to make an arrest. He is 23-year-old Jacoby Tillman. He is charged with attempted sexual battery, battery by strangulation, and false imprisonment. Now, he was arrested today and taken to the Orange County Jail. Orange County Sheriff's investigators say Jacoby Tillman attacked a woman from behind while she was running on the Little Econ Greenway near Yates Road on July 20.
You ever think some people, they're yeah, that's Candy Cane with me. But Candy, you ever think some people, I guess mostly men, I think this a lot, right? Do you ever think they, okay, so you think everybody has like an inner dialogue, right, where they sit and rationalize things to themselves, and you know what I mean? But do you ever think some of them are really just operating off pure instinct, like, and there's nothing in there that's telling them, hey, don't do this, or hey, this is a bad idea, or hey, this is wrong, you know what I mean? What do you, have you ever thought of that? Or am I trying to give him too much credit, like, I don't know.
I do think that there is a risk versus reward that most people operate off of.
Right.
And for some people, they do the evaluation, and if the risk seems low enough and the reward seems high enough,
Yeah.
yeah, I could see him evaluating like I can get
No.
away with this. I mean,
Yeah.
especially because he's already done some things in the past that have, I mean, he got caught for it, but he got released for it too.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you asking me, do I think this man has a conscience?
Well, not on, well, yeah, that too. But I think you can be very cold and calculated and still not have a conscience. But what I'm saying is, like investing out the blue said, like a lot of people in general operate like animals. I just wonder. Okay, so there was this story about this man. Okay, it was another woman that was jogging. She was jogging at like 4 in the morning. It was this white woman. And there was this black dude. He literally just got out of prison. He was in prison for 20 years. Forgot what for. Might have, I don't even remember. But his name was Cleotha Abston. He had just gotten out of prison a few months before. And he was driving by in somebody else's vehicle, and he saw her, and he forced her at gunpoint into his van or whatever the case may be. It was like 4 in the morning. And they ended up she was missing. They ended up finding her body like 2 days later or something like that. She had been shot in the head. So that made me think, okay, is this dude just slow? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you literally was in prison for, hold on, let me see if I can find this shit. He literally was in prison for like 20 years, and he really just didn't give enough of a fuck to like be like, hey, well, you know what, nah, I don't feel like going back. No, it's just like, okay, are you like a fucking animal? You know what I mean? Okay, so like my cats, right? Okay, you know how they do shit, but you can't get mad at them because they're a cat. You know what I mean? So like, for instance, like if I have these little alarms, I have an alarm in my kitchen. I have one on the floor, and then I have one on the counter. It's to basically like let me know when they go in the kitchen, because that's a no-fly zone, right? So my cat, the one sitting on me right now, my little baby, my little Queenie girl, she will get caught like 10 times a day. You know what I mean? And it's like I will catch her and I'll be like, stop doing that. But it's like she'll wait like 5 minutes and she'll go do the shit again. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's like an attention span thing, or it's just like, hey, she's a cat. You know what I mean? That's just what she's gonna do. You know what I mean? But
I think that the thing that separates us from animals is we have logic, we have reasoning, we are higher thinking beings
my
than
point.
animals. You can give grace to animals because they are animals.
But see, that's what I'm getting at. What if these kind of people don't have higher reasoning? It's terrifying. And I asked ChatGPT about that, because that's something I always wondered about. Like, why do people do the dumb shit that they do? Like, and then they act like they just so much don't want to go to jail or prison. But it's like, okay, well, why did you do the shit? But you know what
I don't
ChatGPT
think that they
said?
don't have higher reasoning. I think they have lower inhibition.
Yes.
I think higher reasoning allows, because I mean, think about the plan. He had a plan for how he was going to attack her, the manner in which how he took her down. That shows that there was some logic applied, right? This was premeditated.
Yeah, it was, well, okay, I see what you're saying. But what I'm saying is he wasn't afraid enough of prison, or he underestimated like the chance of him being caught. Like, I don't know
Or
why
he
he
didn't
thought it
care.
wouldn't
He
be.
could simply just not cared though. You got to think like the man you talked about coming out of jail for 20 years
Yeah.
and getting a gun and then attacking this lady. He didn't care. 20 years in jail, first of all. For all we know, he had a boyfriend in there that he was missing. Like, not
Yeah.
even trying to be funny about that, but like, probably, it sounds like he could have spent more time in jail than he spent in the free world, number one. And number
Um,
two, I think some people are just broken. That's why, if I had to be honest, I do think that they should bring back the death penalty to a lot of these cases, because
yeah.
there are some people who cannot be rehabilitated.
Right.
And somebody like him, had he, instead of being let out after 20 years just because of time served, had they evaluated and determined that this man was still a danger to society, that lady would still be here today. Not
Yep.
everybody can be fixed. Not everybody wants to be fixed. Some folks are just permanently fucked up. And
Yep.
then we have to figure out a way to deal with them and get them out of society.
Exactly. And the whole death penalty thing, that's the whole nother. I just don't understand. Like, people would. I'm not trying to get in the way of somebody in injustice. I feel like, okay, well, whoever they took out of this world, we have to live without them, and their loved ones have to live without them. Why do they act like it's going
Hmm.
to be such a tragedy? It's such a, just such a disgrace if this person wasn't here anymore. Like, no, no, people die
Even
all the
beyond taking them out, think about his victims. Like, these ladies' lives are never going to be the same. This lady
time.
was doing something that she loved to do, which she was comfortable doing, and then woke up with her panties and her
Yeah,
pants missing. She
crazy.
is going to have, she is going to have what is
PTSD.
PTSD, for who knows how long.
Right.
She's going to be changed forever, even though she survived. She's
Mm-hmm.
mentally going to be fucked up behind this. I can
Mm-hmm.
guarantee you that.
Mm-hmm. But to your point, I had asked ChatGPT about that, like when I see people just commit crimes where I'm just like, okay, did you think this through? But they actually said what you said. Because okay, this is what I asked. I said, well, so how do you feel about ChatGPT? I don't want to be like putting in your face.
That's very interesting that you
Uh-huh.
asked me that, because I do have a show coming up Friday about ChatGPT.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And
Yeah,
how, yeah, so I feel like I use ChatGPT. I use it for work.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I use it for personal use as well.
Mm-hmm.
But because I'm somebody who works with computers and technology, I do have a distance that I keep between me and ChatGPT that I feel
Mm-hmm.
like maybe other people, like I've seen people use it as therapists. I've seen
Yeah.
them use it as virtual girlfriends and boyfriends.
Yeah.
I've seen them use it in some cases for like religious advice.
Yeah.
There's a level of psychosis that I think is starting to
Yeah.
happen with certain individuals in society. But as far
Mm-hmm.
as it's a useful tool if used the right way, but it can be very dangerous. Short
Yeah.
answer.
In the wrong hands, of course, just like anything.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So I asked, because this is what I was thinking. Like I said earlier, I said, is a person who commits brazen crimes more likely to be of low intelligence? Why wasn't he deterred by the possibility of being caught? So they said something. Basically, I'm just summarize what ChatGPT said. It says sometimes, but not always. Blah blah. Traits more common in lower IQ offenders: impulsivity, poor planning skills, difficulty learning from past punishments, and reduced risk assessment. Okay, they don't calculate the odds of getting caught accurately. This can explain why some offenders commit public, sloppy, or quick return to prison crimes, like Abston, who had recently been released and committed a high-risk, high-profile crime just 18 months later. Okay, so I forgot to say that he had attacked another woman. I might have to find when he attacked this woman, but I think it was a black woman that he attacked the first time, and she was so mad after this other woman was killed because she felt like they didn't take her story seriously, and if they had, that this would have never happened. Okay,
Hmm.
so it says, but not all brazen criminals are unintelligent. Some are highly narcissistic or psychopathic, believing they can outsmart everyone. Some feel invincible due to prior escapes from justice, desire power or control more than they fear consequences, or see their victim as vulnerable so that they underestimate the risk. Okay,
Hmm.
and it says, why wasn't he deterred by the possibility of getting caught? The key to understanding recidivist violent crime. Oh, yeah, this is the key to understanding recidivist violent crime. Here are several likely reasons. Okay, psychological/behavioral factors. Deficit fear response. Many violent offenders, especially those with ASPD or psychopathy, have a muted physiological fear response to punishment. Impulse over
Hmm.
consequence. Even if they know the risk, it gets overridden by the urge to dominate, harm, or satisfy a need. Sense of invincibility. I got away with worse before is a
Mhm.
dangerous mindset. Emotional dysregulation. Rage or sexual compulsion can hijack rational thought in the moment. Um, okay, environmental or learned behaviors. Early socialization in crime. If they grew up around people who weren't deterred, they may not believe punishment is inevitable. Broken system experiences. Some believe the system is slower and effective, especially if they've been caught and released before. Nothing to lose. If their life circumstances seem hopeless or hostile, the threat of prison may not feel worse. Okay, it says in Abston's case, his history suggests low impulse control, callous disregard for others, and likely limited long term thinking, all of which are common in individuals with antisocial traits, regardless of IQ. It's unclear whether his intelligence was low, but his behavior was consistent with impulsivity and emotional detachment rather than careful strategic criminality. So, yeah, I'm gonna pull this. Hold on, let me. Well, you know what?
Was arrested
One more
today
time, right?
and taken to the Orange County Jail.
One more time. One more.
Orange County Sheriff's investigators say Jacoby Tillman attacked a woman from behind while she was.
All right, I ain't shit. But all right, let me see. Wait.
Sorry.
I'm gonna find the other guy. Cleotha Epstein. Um. Okay, he pled guilty. That's a relief. Let me see if I can find like a little short. Oh shit. Okay. Um. Wait. Okay, let me see. Am I still okay? It's not on there anymore. Okay, let me see. Um.
You'll have to probably do a new share of that
Yeah.
tab and then add it back to this. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This crazy nigga. Wait, hold on. Okay. You see that?
I see
Cleotha
it. I
Abston
see
was
his face.
sentenced to 24 years in prison after pleading guilty to especially aggravated kidnapping and aggravated robbery. The victim stated he was extremely lucky he was able to escape that night in 2000 when Abston put him into the trunk of his car at gunpoint for a number of hours until he tried to force him to use the ATM at a MAPCO station.
This was in
Someone had entered the
2001.
gas station and the victim called for help. He wrote, "It's quite likely that I would have been killed had I not escaped." Abston declined to comment in court. He was only 16 at the time of the kidnapping, according to his arrest ticket. Court documents state he had a good relationship with his family, but his childhood was rough. They go on to state Abston's lengthy record that shows his first arrest was in 1995 for theft. He was just 11 years old. He was arrested again and again every
Damn.
few months from there for burglary, theft, aggravated assault, violation of curfew, truancy, rape, evading
What the
arrest,
fuck?
and more. The violent crimes, including rape and aggravated assault, resulted in time in the detention center, but it's unclear how much time he spent there. His file also states at the time he had no suicidal gestures, medical problems, or mental illness. He was listed, though, as 100% violent. The 2000 kidnapping victim ended his statement to the court by saying, "It was obvious to me Abston feels absolutely no remorse for the crime." TDOC confirmed to us he was released in November 2020 when his sentence expired. Jessica Gertler, WREG, News Channel 3.
Okay, that was a really short one, but wait, let me see. I wanted to talk about his not that victim from 2001, but it was a woman that he attacked.
Is that her? The white woman?
That's the woman he killed. So I'm talking about
Oh, wow.
before this crime, he he did something to a black woman, I believe. Let me see. I might not be able to find it just on the fly, but I know that he
I wonder if they're going to include it in one of these news stories about the white woman. If that's going to be like a blurb that they throw in. By the way, there was an original victim who tried to warn
Police have
y'all.
been able to link him to
yeah. Let me see.
Cleotha Abston sits in jail, apparently saying very little about the kidnapping of Eliza Fletcher, but police have been able to link him to the crime, saying Abston was driving the SUV seen in surveillance video at the crime scene. That SUV belonged to Gwendolyn Brown, who lives at this South Memphis apartment complex.
Yes, I am upset. I'm very upset.
When we went to Brown's home Monday, she admitted the truck was hers and said she wanted to talk to us, but would have to call us.
I'm willing to talk.
Are you Miss Brown?
Yes, I am.
Are you Gwendolyn Brown?
Yes, I am.
That was your car that Cleota was in?
I just told you, when you leave
What
that
the fuck?
car,
You see her
you're supposed to
lips?
be able to talk.
The
She refused to say how she knows Cleotha
What the
Abston,
fuck?
but adamantly stressed she was
attitude,
not
the
his
attitude. You
girlfriend.
hear what
We
you
also
mad
found
for?
police at Brown's apartment
Did you see
checking
her
out
lips?
damage to a glass door.
I don't think
No
she
word
talks
on
like
what
she doesn't have
happened.
teeth.
But it's not the
No,
only
she had
address
like
connected
white
to
stuff on
Cleotha
her lips.
Abston.
Like,
These Frazier apartments are listed as Cleotha
okay,
Abston's address.
I want to say something else. I can see that she's throwed off, right? But another thing that pisses me off about a lot of these women, okay, y'all don't pay that no mind. But something that pisses me off about a lot of these women is you would think, is there nothing that's bad enough that they can do to where nobody will fuck with them? You see what I'm saying? It's like, why did this nigga just get out of prison after like 24 years? Was like 20 years, something like that, maybe almost 20 years. He was sentenced to 24. But it's like, why does he have access to like wherever she lives? Why is he able to drive her SUV around at 4 o'clock in the morning? Well, what is wrong with some of these women?
Because
I don't get it.
broken people seek out other broken people. You got to think about it. There's love after lockup. These women are seeking
Yeah,
out men while actively locked up in jail. They have fan clubs. They have
yeah.
women sending them, nudes and all kinds of stuff while they've
Hmm.
never met this man but fell in love with a criminal. Like
Hmm.
it's just depraved minds are going to find each other, and that comes in men and women.
I look at it more as like low standards. Because I think a lot of these women, they just look at it like, oh, he's a man, you know what I mean? A man is a man, you know what I mean? They're not really
But
living
why
like, oh, I got a
specifically that
boyfriend.
man? Like you can walk down the street and pass 20 men. You didn't have to go grab Mr. Fresh
Well,
out of jail. That fresh out of jail ping can't be that good. Come on now.
well, I mean, yeah, okay. I see your point. I was gonna say like a lot of
And
people out here
walk into
taking
your
what they
local
can
jewel
get.
or something. Mm.
A lot of people just taking what they can get. Um, but yeah, but you make a good point. Like, you don't have to mess with somebody that just got out of prison after 20 years. So I don't know. Maybe some
No.
women are attracted to that.
I think that there are some women that specifically seek them. Like especially if you watch again, I bring up the show like Love After Lockup. I don't even watch that show that often, but sometimes it comes across my feed. It's in my algorithm for
Yeah.
whatever reason. And some
Hmm.
of these women are her habitual, like her last boyfriend, her current boyfriend, and her future boyfriend are all going to be inmates. You
Yeah.
know,
Yep. I think I don't know. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try
But we're
to guess.
told actually his mother lives here.
While his mother wasn't home, his uncle by marriage says this kidnapping charge is a surprise.
They said he had done it before.
So,
What?
I mean, if he did it before, how many years ago?
What?
A long time.
so
Okay.
Okay, so that tells you
So
what
you
you
don't
need to know,
believe it,
right?
or
I believe that that he probably did it, but I have no
well
proof.
damn.
In 2000, as a juvenile, Cleotha Abston was charged and later convicted of kidnapping Memphis attorney
That
Kemper
nigga was 16
Durand
in that
as
picture.
he was walking from a party on
What
Bill
the fuck?
Street, driving the lawyer around in his trunk and forcing him to get money from an ATM. That same lawyer has been linked to Eliza
Okay,
Fletcher's
pause. One
family.
one
Okay.
Cleotha
second for me.
Abston
This Negro is diabolical.
Well,
They
what?
said he
What?
kidnapped a lawyer.
Yeah,
He kidnapped a lawyer,
that's what
somebody
I'm.
attached to the law.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is anything going on? Like, it's like the lights are on, but nobody's home. Like, what's going on?
Well,
That's what I
no,
be
because they
thinking. These
said that
niggas is stuck.
the lawyer is attached to the lady that he killed family. So there's some connection there. I don't think that he's completely void of thought. And this is just nah. I mean, he might be low IQ, but I'm not gonna give him the out of saying that this man is just not like it could be no impulse control, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, he's insane. He didn't know what he was doing. He absolutely knew what he was doing.
Let me see. Let's see.
Proof.
In 2000, as a juvenile, Cleotha Abston was charged and later convicted of kidnapping Memphis attorney Kemper Durand as he was walking from a party on Bill Street, driving the lawyer around in his trunk and forcing him to get money from an ATM. That same lawyer has been linked to Eliza Fletcher's family. Cleotha Abston was sentenced to 20
What that
years.
means.
He was released in 2018. We know he worked for a cleaning service. In fact, it was his boss who described to police the vehicle Abston had been driving, the one that matched what police saw on the video of the abduction. Cleotha Abston's brother Mario remains in jail on drug charges. And back at his apartment, neighbors say they didn't know much
These
about
reporters are
Mario
brave, I'll tell
and
you.
never met Cleotha. April Thompson, WREG News Channel 3.
Now, Cleotha Abston will
Now you
is set to
see
go
who, wait,
before a judge
pause.
tomorrow
You
morning.
see who they sent in there. They didn't send him, they sent the black lady. They're gonna
Right,
send
right.
somebody who's gonna blend.
She don't blend in though. Like I see, yeah, she blend in more than him, but shit, bro, they don't make enough money for all this.
Is set to go before a judge tomorrow morning. It's a story we will continue to follow.
First at 4 in a surprising turn of.
Why is this shit playing? And I was sad when I saw this shit. It was like, damn. Because you know when somebody's missing, that's real
Is that
bad.
her? Was that the black lady?
I don't
Go
think
back up.
so.
Did you wait?
Well, let me. This one. Yeah, it was this one.
It was this one.
I'm sorry about what happened, and if I would have been there, I would have did what I
That's his
could
mother.
to stop it.
While Fletcher's death is bringing people together, those who never met her are tonight grieving over a life
not
lost
his
to
mother.
senseless violence.
Police identified a body found in South Memphis this morning as Eliza Fletcher, the jogger who was abducted Friday morning near the University of Memphis. Investigators say the man accused of kidnapping and killing her is refusing to talk to them. Hello, I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. More questions and answers tonight as local and federal investigators try to figure out what triggered the abduction and murder of Eliza Fletcher.
WREG's Bria Jones has been following this case since it broke 4 days ago and joins us now with how Fletcher's murder is impacting the city. Bria?
Yeah, Greg and Stephanie, tonight hearts continue to break for Eliza Fletcher, with people coming out bringing teddy bears, balloons, and candles and other
That's a damn
tokens of
shame.
sympathy outside this home where she was found lifeless.
Hey, good morning, girls. You should be watching this on Thursday.
She was a teacher.
Vibrant
She was a
smile
teacher?
and bubbly
Yeah.
personality.
Teacher.
And on that farm, he had a horse. E-I-E-I-O.
Paired with a sweet spirit that could even pierce through the barriers of virtual learning.
Hey, it's Miss Fletcher.
Tonight, the nation is feeling the weight of
Damn,
the
that has
loss
to be
of
messed up
Eliza
for them
Fletcher.
kids.
The
Imagine
$34-year-old
that being your
mother,
favorite
wife,
teacher.
and
And she
St.
had
Mary's
children
school
of her own.
teacher was kidnapped and then killed after police say she was abducted by this man, Cleotha Abston, last week. Police say Fletcher was out for her usual early morning run near the University
But
of
that nigga might have
Memphis
seen her
when she
before.
was violently snatched. This
Maybe
teddy
not.
bear hangs outside the abandoned home next to the vacant lot where Fletcher's body was found in South Memphis. And more people are coming to offer their sympathy, those who knew her and loved her, and those like Pearline Willer Carpenter who know her now.
I can feel her fear. I can feel it going all through my body. Sadness, fear.
Her gift to Eliza, this plant she hopes will become a living tribute.
I just wanted to give her that plant so it could keep her dream alive, you know, with her children.
A sentiment also felt by the dozens of people who left flowers, encouraging messages, and even a pair of running shoes at her abduction site.
And this is just really sad. It hit home. I have sons. It's just senseless.
And tonight, as the nation mourns, we're learning more about tributes planned to honor Fletcher in the coming weeks. You can find more information on our website, WREG.com. Now reporting live in South Memphis, Bria Jones, WREG News, Channel 3.
Let me see something. Maybe I found it. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone. This might be it. Somebody named Alicia Franklin. That he
That
attacked in
was his.
2021.
That's the one who lived.
Yeah, but yeah, I believe yeah. I'm gonna look it up. Wait. Um. Okay. Says uh today, Cleota Abston, accused of sexually assaulting Alicia Franklin in 2021, 2021, was found guilty after a 3-day trial. The jury returned guilty verdicts on aggravated rape, aggravated kidnapping, and unlawful possession of a firearm as a convicted felon. See, these niggas always got a gun. Where did he get these? Like, where did he get these guns from? Am I just naive? Like, what?
Well, Tennessee, I think Tennessee's one of those states that it's easier to get a gun in. But I don't know about being a felon. I would assume being a felon would disqualify you across the board.
Right.
So he could have got it from. I mean, look at the attitude of his uncle. Who knows who gave him that gun?
Oh, you gotta see. Did you see this shit before? We gotta watch that one. That shit was crazy. Okay, so during the trial, 5 witnesses provided testimony, including Abston's girlfriend at the time of the crime, who was also pregnant with his child. So somebody got pregnant by this nigga. Okay. You know what?
They always have girlfriends. It's always a woman around willing to take them on. That's crazy.
Yep. Okay, so all right, here we go. All right. Oh, let me see if I can find it. See. Okay, so I have it on my phone. Let me see if I can find it on here. It's not on. What I'm finding is not on YouTube, but maybe it's on. Maybe it is on here. And I wanna hold on. Okay, I wanna look at that too. I want to see where they interviewed her. Oh, here. Okay, here we go.
Now we're going to turn to the young woman who says she was sexually assaulted by the suspect in the murder of Memphis mom, Eliza Fletcher. Alicia Franklin says police ignored her case and failed Eliza. Her disturbing allegations raise a lot of questions. Errol Rush up here with that exclusive interview. Good morning.
Look. So picture that. So this happened to her in 2021, right? She said they ignored her. So it happened to this white woman in 2022. And so her case didn't get looked at until 2024. That's when she got her trial for what he did to her. You see what I'm saying? You see how fucked up that is?
Good morning to you, George. Alicia's story is
And
chilling
notice-
and frankly hard to fathom exactly.
They are conveniently ignoring her even now. Even now, as they're talking about the death of this lady, you already have his previous history with this black woman, but you still choose to leave her out of the story because she wasn't important enough to investigate in the first place.
Right.
And you don't want to highlight the fact that that's what happened.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Because. Yep, that's all I can say is yep.
1 year ago today, she says she was sexually assaulted by Cleotha Henderson. She tells me something kept drawing her to Eliza Fletcher's case as she continued to press for answers in her own, but she never could have imagined the unthinkable connection.
I never in a million years thought anything like that would happen to me.
This morning, in her first TV interview, 22-year-old Alicia Franklin breaking her silence about the night she says she was raped by Cleotha Abston Henderson, the man now accused of kidnapping and killing Memphis jogger Eliza Fletcher.
Not a day goes by that I didn't think about this.
Alicia alleging Henderson attacked her almost a full year before Eliza went missing. But the DNA results from her sexual assault kit linking Henderson to her case were not reported until after Eliza disappeared, a delay she believes allowed Henderson to remain free.
They had more than enough evidence that night when they interviewed me to get him off the streets, but they didn't.
Henderson only now facing charges for attacking Alicia, pleading not guilty. In September 2021, Alicia says she met a man who went by Cleo on an online dating site, texting on the phone for weeks before finally meeting in person. She agreed to pick him up from what he claimed was his apartment, but once they got inside, she says it was abandoned.
Walk us through what happened the night of September 21st.
Red flag number one. Why are you
We
picking that
walked in the
man
house,
up?
he put a gun to my neck, and he was like, if you move, I'm gonna kill you. Because I was so scared. So he ended up putting a shirt over my head. He didn't want me to see him. I was crying because I'm like, just please let me go. But he wasn't really trying to hear it, and every time I said something, he threatened to kill me. He forced me in the car, he raped me.
Alicia, who was 4 months pregnant at the time, says she begged him to stop.
Told him I was pregnant. He didn't care.
Okay, hold
She
on.
says he then
Hold
took
on.
her back into the vacant
I didn't
Pause
want
for the
to.
calls. Pause for the calls. Pause for the calls.
I didn't want to be the one to
Pause for the calls because she got me banging on my dang bed.
Why is you 4 months pregnant on a dating app? I'm like, girl, like,
Sister,
one thing
you
at a
had
time.
bigger fish to fry.
Right.
And I'm not even trying to victim blame here, right? Okay.
But
But
it
4
just
months
goes to
ago,
show they always need some nigga in their face. I'm sorry, go ahead.
like it was so many things wrong with this story. I hear her. I hear you. I hear you. And right now you want some justice. But there was so many red flags along the way that you just ignored. First of all, you said texting for weeks. You didn't say calling. You didn't say video chatting. And then you go to his house upon first meet. You go pick him up. You don't meet him in a public space. What the hell are you doing?
But like I said, they always gotta be in somebody's damn face. So
It's the lack of awareness and the lack of like, damn, where is your self-preservation?
yeah, it's crazy. And just the fact that like I don't, you know what? I'm not even going.
At gunpoint.
It was like, when you hear me rev my engine, that's when you leave. But I thought he was going to shoot me in the back of my head because I just didn't see him letting me go. And once I heard the car drive off, I just ran.
In the fog of trauma, Alicia drove herself to the hospital, then to a rape crisis center where they administered a sexual assault kit, and she was interviewed by a sex crimes detective.
What did they tell you the protocol was for your rape kit? Did they give you any sense for when they would give you those results?
No, she didn't really say, she didn't tell me how everything would play out. I called for about 2 days, but nobody really was talking to me.
Alicia says that same night, she gave authorities the man's phone number, walked them through the crime scene, described his car, and all the details of the assault.
Did they give you any explanation about why you had all these details about him and still they didn't track him down?
They said
Can
they
you pause
could,
it
they
again?
didn't have enough evidence. Like they was like.
So one thing that the news is leaving out right now that I know for a fact what's going on is the national database for like the rape kits was backed up.
Yeah.
Several months to like, I think a couple years backed up. So even if they did process all of that stuff, there's still no guarantee that he would have been caught and or found because of the fact that we have a crisis. And I don't even know if it's still going on. I know that it was reported around the time that this was going on with her that it was backed up and a lot of so it could still even be happening now. I just know that the part the news is leaving out, because I don't want to make it seem like, oh, it's just because she's Black they didn't process it. No, the national database is backed up.
Yeah. Yep. And also, I guess also because she survived. Because the thing is, people don't realize how often, this kind of thing happens. So by the of course the other woman's white, but then by her case being such a high profile case, the police feel like, okay, well, we might have been ignoring all the other ones, but we got to do something about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
This is not enough evidence to charge him for rape.
Even though you had taken a rape test, they said they still didn't have enough evidence.
Yeah.
Alicia's lawyers alleging if authorities had run the sexual assault kit then, it would have matched Henderson's DNA, which was already in the system because of his extensive criminal past. But they didn't. And over the next year, Alicia says she kept pressing authorities for answers.
I called. They just always gave me the runaround and sent me in circles. I have always been paranoid since then. I'm always on edge. I don't trust people. I'm always looking over my shoulder.
On Friday, September 2nd, around 4:30 a.m., 34-year-old mom and kindergarten teacher Eliza Fletcher went for a run in Memphis, but never returned. Her body found days later. Henderson now charged with her murder after authorities say DNA at the scene was quickly tested, linking him to the crime.
Do you believe that if your case had been processed sooner, that Eliza would be alive today?
I definitely believe she would have still been alive today.
Alicia's lawyers say she's now telling her story to prevent this from happening again.
And she wants to make sure that when a victim speaks out like she has spoken out, that we listen and we, expeditiously process rape kits and we expeditiously look for the person who needs to be off the street so that no one else is ever hurt.
Cleotha Henderson has not entered a plea in Eliza's case. Alicia is now suing the city of Memphis and the apartment complex where she says the attack happened. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says they processed Alicia's rape kit when they were asked to and is working to hire more people to improve turnaround times here. The Memphis Police Department did not respond to our multiple requests for comment. Guys.
Okay, Errol, thanks very much. You can see much more of Errol's report on Alicia's story on Nightline.
Well, hey. Yeah. I think also part of the problem is a lot of times if you aren't the perfect victim, you do go.
Yep.
You do get overlooked. You have to be and this lady, Alicia lady, was the perfect victim. She was a loved school teacher. She was a mother. She was a this, she was that. She wasn't a pregnant woman on a date with a man she just met off of the dating app. So that's the unfortunate part is a lot of times they are looking for a perfect victim to actually, believe.
Yeah. Yep. Let me see if I can. Oh wait, hold on. All right, let me. This shit is crazy. Well, I'm gonna have to get off here pretty soon, but I want you to see this. I remember this shit. I'm like, you know what? It ain't funny. It ain't. But it's like, what the fuck?
Oh, I saw that one, dude.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said I feel like because it's like
at the facility, you in jail already.
That's what I'm saying. This is why I be thinking these niggas. Okay, I'm not gonna say these niggas, but this is why I be thinking like it ain't really nothing going on in there. It's just like okay, it's just like a damn like my cat. Like I said, she every time she think about
No, listen.
food,
But here's why I have to argue. Why I have to argue against that is the fact that he didn't just walk over there. He tried to be sneaky about it and crawl his goofy ass, slithering on his belly or back across that floor. He thought he'd get away with it. That's the whole thing. Like, there's yes, you're right. There's some the what did they say? The lights are on, but nobody's home. The elevator don't go all the way to the top floor. I think it stops a few floors below. Like
it's just like
that kind of thing.
Just slow, like, bro, like.
County intake, transfer, and release facility near 27th Avenue and Lower Buckeye, getting a new look at an attempted assault that happened here. An inmate crawling from the men's side over to the women's side.
Mr. Avery, you're here for several felony charges.
April 11th, Justin Avery was arrested, accused of assaulting two women near Arizona State's campus. Avery was free the very next day when police say he assaulted three more women, also at ASU. Later that week, Avery was in the Maricopa County intake, transfer, and release facility near 27th Ave and Buckeye, awaiting court process.
Yeah, he has some kind of impulse control.
So they said he got away with doing it to three more women and was about to do it to another one. Like he's one of the ones I was talking about where they get bolder the more they get away with shit,
Girl, if I was,
that's why that's the arrogance of it all. Like the camera. You thought just because you were how do you overlook the camera? Did you not know it was there? Like if I just crawl, she can't see me.
They slow. Right. I had a little foster kitten. It was the one she just got she got adopted a few days ago. The one I posted a picture at the walls. The pictures is on my wall. But yeah, her and her mom both got adopted, but they went to different homes. But she was like real kind of scared, you know what I mean? So she did come out of her shell a lot, but I would have to say, like, if we're both on the bed, then she'll let me most of the time pet her or whatever, or, pick her up. But say if I'm standing up and I guess since I look so big, I could not she would not let me touch her, like just me bending down, I guess looking like a giant, you know what I mean? But one time she ran, right? There's an open like Amazon box. You know how say if the box is open and the flap is kind of like it's on, it's out, right? So she went and hid her head, she thinks she's hiding underneath the flap. Her head sticking out the front, her butt sticking out the back. But she thinks she was hiding. I was like, oh, that's so cute. But she's a cat. Not only she a cat, she's a damn kitten, less than a year old. This dude is crawling across the floor. It's like, what, nigga, what's wrong with you? It's just like, man, I don't even know, man.
For the charges. The facility is separated into two sides, male and female. But watch on the screen as security cameras show Avery dropping to the ground and beginning to crawl, undetected by detention officers, over to the female side of the facility. We'll stop the video here, but it shows him getting behind a woman who was asleep and lowering his pants. Court records say another woman said aloud, "Hey, get off her," to which video shows Avery shushing the woman. The noise alerting an officer who called for backup. The entire incident lasting about a minute and a half. When questioned later, Avery told investigators he crawled like a, quote, spider, drawn to the woman's physical appearance. But how did he go undetected? We asked MCSO about the incident, and they told ABC 15 in part, quote, detention officers' eyes cannot be everywhere all of the time. And they say once seen, detention officers responded immediately and removed the inmate to an enclosed cell. They also say the facility employs a direct supervision model used nationwide, allowing for, quote, efficiency, safety, and dignity for all involved. Once in that enclosed cell, Avery telling investigators his intention was to rape the victim. MCSO says the intake, transfer, and release facility, quote, has been in operation for over 4 years, and this is the first incident of its kind. MCSO will continue looking for research-backed ways to improve and accomplish that mission.
That inmate now facing an additional sexual assault charge on top of those kidnapping and aggravated assault charges he had already been detained for. In Phoenix, Fort Hatchet, ABC 15, Arizona.
What the? Oh, I ain't.
New tonight, a man says 2 women. We're outside the Maricopa County intake, transfer, and...
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Like, out the blue said a few eggs short of an omelet.
Right.
Because an omelet, look, an omelet only got 3 eggs in it. This nigga a few eggs short of an omelet. Man, okay.
That just goes to show you, though. Okay, so I don't know if you ever heard, like, some of these men say that, like, they're waiting for martial law and, like, when the government shuts down, because then they'll have free reign to do whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there who are waiting for the moment when there will be no consequence and they can do whatever they want to. That's why, that whole winter is coming. That was real big in the manosphere a few years ago, because they were just like, we can't wait until there's no protections for you. Because I feel like, unfortunately, I'm going to say this, and I feel like there's a lot of men out there who are counting on the day when they can just go and bop you upside your head and do what they want to do.
Yeah, well, I ain't gonna say what I want to say. I ain't gonna say what I want to say, but yeah, you're right. I think you're right about that. I'm gonna just say somebody's standing in their way, and it ain't one of them. That's all I'm gonna say about that. If you get what I'm saying. So, but oh yeah, and the whole food stamps thing, like, I don't even know what to think about. I mean, I don't know. And you know what? That whole thing about winter is coming. You know what's so pathetic about that? It's like it's like you can't compete. You can't attract a woman to the point that you need her to, like, be starving or not have a way to feed her child just in order for her to even want to fuck with you. You see what I'm saying?
Those are the lames. Those, like, the men I've seen doing that, like, pussy's about to be $40 again, y'all. Get ready.
Yeah,
They done cut off food stamps.
And then, you know
then
what?
The other ones.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Then the other ones are like, what else did he say? Oh yeah, I can't wait. Now that they cut off food stamps, my phone's about to be ringing again. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I hope these women, I hope the women see and hear you talk like that and make a point not to call your phone. Like, don't call the phone when the food stamps are on or off. Like, these men deserve no pussy ever.
I was actually surprised to hear them say that, because I honestly, maybe I wasn't giving, like, black women enough credit, but I didn't know these niggas was having issues, like, getting women. Like, I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know. So I was like, whoa, okay. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad to hear that. But 2 things about that. So let's just say if he was a real man, right? Real man, real job, okay. Just, I don't want to, everybody got their own, idea of whatever. But he would be able to get somebody that's um like I said, I don't want to sound like elitist or
Only the
whatever.
lames are counting on this. A man
Yeah,
who knows how to
right,
talk to women, who has his options with women, is not
right,
waiting on food stamps to get cut
right,
off. He's
right.
he's
That's
he's
that's
still
what I'm
dealing with the
saying.
same women he was going to deal with before they cut off food stamps and the same women after. It's only these
Exactly.
lame Negroes who don't deserve to have a woman
Ex-
anyway, waiting with salivating at the mouth.
right. And there, put it like this, right? So let's just say it's a woman that really got it going on like that, as far as like got her shit together and everything.
Hmm.
They know they never in their whole life would they ever be able to try to talk to a woman like that, right? Because she's only gonna fuck with you if she want to fuck with you, because she don't have to fuck with you, right? But you mean to tell me,
Hmm.
okay, so let's just say you can't get a whatever, a Michelle Obama, as far as like, status wise or whatever the case may be, right? You mean to tell me the you mean to tell me somebody got to lose their food stamps in order to want to fuck with you? That's sad, bro. Like that shit is sad. That shit is sad. Like I don't even know what to say about that. Like, and then the other thing I was thinking about is it's interesting that they said they didn't say, hey, well now they since they getting rid of food stamps or whatever, now like she will need me and I can provide, or like take the place of, or like take the place of a man inside the home or whatever like that. They not trying to provide. They said since they don't have food stamps no more, now I can buy coochie for $40. You see what I mean? But then
Hmm.
they're mad at
Hmm.
food stamps. They're mad at food stamps. But it's like that's all they don't. I don't know, man.
You got to keep in mind when you get frustrated with these, when you see these stories, it's not all of them.
Yeah,
It's a specific group of men who have that mentality, and these are the men who aren't competing in society anyway.
yeah,
These are the type of men to want to fish out of a barrel.
yeah. And I just think it's just so many of them, and just the fact that they saying like if they saying welfare took the black man out the home, but it's like the only thing they mad because women don't want to fuck with them, right? If they don't absolutely have to. But the thing is, if if you did have something to offer, which the only way you could have something to offer is because she lost her damn food stamps to begin with. But let's just say if you did have something to offer, all you would want is to pay $40 to get some coochie. It's just a waste of space, just a waste of fresh air. Like I don't know what to say. Um,
Yeah. I mean, I haven't looked into what's going on with the food stamp stuff, to be honest with you. Like I've been hearing stories like it was supposed to have been cut off on the first, and then people
yeah.
were like planning on, robbing
Oh, I'm
grocery
sorry.
stores. It's a whole lot going on.
I did not see or investing out the blue. I'm sorry, I did not see you back there.
Oh, Blue, you was in the back?
Yeah, I don't know
Oh,
how
you
long
good?
he
I
was in
just
there.
tapped it. You good?
Okay, okay. I just came back to the screen. What's up out the blue?
Not too much. Not too much. How y'all doing today?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. How are you?
Another blessed one. I can't even lie.
All right. So, what's your thoughts? Do you have any thoughts on any of the stories that we went over tonight? The first story was about how looks can be deceiving. That's all I'm gonna say. The second one was about a dude that got out of prison after 20 years, and in the next year he committed an assault on somebody, but he, nobody paid attention because she wasn't the right kind of victim, like Candy said. And then 18 months after he got out of prison, he ended up killing somebody, and now he's going back to prison. And then the last story is about somebody like hiding behind a desk so that they can violate somebody in a room with like 20 people in it. I don't even know what to say.
Well, let's not leave out. He's already locked up. This is a detention
Right,
center with
exactly.
men on one side and women on it. You already in jail, my nigga,
Oh my
and you trying
gosh.
to grape while you in there.
Yeah, if I was his mama, I had to do something about, because I'm like, no, I can't have this thing walking around, having come out of me. Now I'd have to take him up out of here, because no, you're not about to disgrace me like that.
Yeah, I think in some instances, people are like weighing the risk and reward, and then in
Hmm.
some instances, people like are like And in some instances, people like lack impulse control.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's also instances where their brain is just broke. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like I think in both of these situations it was impulse issues. It's like you couldn't help, like even with old buddy. Yeah, he know he gonna get caught, but by the time he get caught, it's after he's got what he got.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, he's already made the decision. As long as I can get over there, I'm good. Like
Just
everything
think
else
about the
don't matter.
mentality.
That's
Think
crazy.
about the mentality that man had to have as a woman is saying, "Hey, get off her," and you shush her. Let me rape her in peace. What?
Just slow. I don't even know what to say. Like, bro.
That you thought that would work. Like she was supposed to shut up and just let that happen. A woman was supposed to shut up and watch you do that to another woman and not try to stop you. Like just crazy.
Because a lot of people will like, and it ain't like a lot of people freeze, and so any bit of pushback, they won't take it no further. So it is like to be that bold though, but it's like that bold is like you can't help it. You can't even help yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something wrong with
Like
him.
nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I say certain shit. It's like, bro, there's no way you know you get caught. No way. So if there was no way out of this, you had to. We passed saying fuck it.
Yeah, that made me
Like,
think he needed a psych evaluation. Something just ain't right. Like,
yeah, you like it's nothing you can do with that. There's
yeah.
nothing you can do to help that. Like, bro,
That means that they don't care about the consequence. That's what happens when you get to the point. Like, what part of what you read with from ChatGPT is sometimes people do these things just because they don't give a damn about the
Mm-hmm.
consequence.
Yeah. I don't even.
like it's multiple factors that go into decision making. It's like multiple parts of your brain that it goes through, and it's like even like where
Hmm.
they talk about like reading the room. For a lot of people, they don't have that part of their brain that it never
Yeah.
lights up. So like the thoughts will come into their head, and then it's a part in our head that it gets filtered first. Like, hold on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you need to just say that just because you thought it? And then there's some people who can't. They just say it like whoa, that's a lot of information. And you be
Yeah.
looking like, are they
Hmm.
playing? Or are they? But it's like, nah. That part of their brain that light up is never lighted up when they get a thought. It's just boom.
Yeah, they gotta have a name for that. I refuse to believe. And you know what? That's another thing. When I see somebody just do something completely crazy, like on the news, I always hate the fact that they don't go into like just the different kinds of criminals there are and like why somebody would do this. Because we watched this story, right? And they might have said something about like how bizarre it is, but they don't touch on like this isn't normal. You know what I mean? This is past deviant. This is it's abnormal, not because
Well,
but like let's just say if he was a regular criminal, right? He would be sitting there thinking, okay, well, too bad these people right here, because if they weren't, then I would do this. But he didn't even. So then, what is that? Like, what is that? Is there a
you
name for
got to
that?
keep in
That's
mind.
past. That's a
You,
sickness. Like you passed
you
the.
got to keep in mind they can't really tell us about these people's medical history because of HIPAA laws. So
Yeah.
even if they could pathologize them, we wouldn't be able to be privy to that information. Most of the time, they'll just say sociopathic or psychotic. I don't
Yeah.
even know if they use those words anymore. But that's the blanket that they would throw them underneath. They
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to give us their specific diagnosis. But it would be nice. That's why I like watching like Criminal Minds and
Mm-hmm.
like all of those behavior analysis units type shows because
Mm-hmm.
they do give you a look inside the heads.
That's why
Yeah.
I always know it's a blessing to have the mind I got
Yep.
because a lot of people
Can
do
I'm
not
sorry. Can you
have it.
turn blue? Are you able to turn your mic up? You are low to
Oh,
me.
my fault. Can you hear me now?
Much better. Much
Okay,
better.
cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I was saying I'm just glad I'm able to have the mind that I have. Like it's just a blessing because it's just a lot of people who do not and they out of their mind. Like and they functional. There's a lot of people who functional and on the line to just snap it.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
you're around them on a regular, like, and anything could set somebody off, like, and trigger somebody. So it's man.
Yeah. People like that scare me. Um, yeah, I don't even know what else to say about that. But I'm gonna have to ask Chat
Just
GPT about him. That's
just
crazy.
think about it for a second. You don't know how many times in your lifetime you have been in a crowded space or walked past somebody who was a true sociopath, psychopath. You don't know
Mm-hmm.
how many times in your lifetime you walked past somebody who might have been a serial killer undetected.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now,
Yep.
I'm in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Right now in Chicago, I looked it up. They said we have a possibility of 3 active serial killers that they know of. That's just the
Mm-hmm.
ones you know of. That doesn't include the people who have flown under the radar that
Mm-hmm.
is standing next to you or behind you at the damn grocery store.
Yeah. Or just killers in general, right? Yeah, I actually thought about
Right.
that recently. Like, if you just see somebody, you're not gonna know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, maybe it's actually. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I want to tell this story, but okay, I ain't even gonna tell that story. But yeah, let's just say I found out that somebody I knew had killed somebody, and I actually he didn't want to tell me. I knew that he had been in prison, but I didn't. He did not want to tell me why, right? And I got mad because it's like, okay, why you don't want to say why? Like, what you touching little kids or some shit, like what, like why, you know what I mean? But he actually passed away, and I don't know why I didn't think at the time to like Google it, but when I Googled it I found that he had killed somebody when he was 19. I think maybe he was in some kind of gang or something like that, but then somebody just told him, hey, go kill this person, and he did it. So he was in jail, like he was in prison like 20 years or something like that. So I mean, like I said, the whole time I was knowing him, I didn't know that he had killed somebody. I did ask him, I was like, okay, did you kill somebody? Okay, did you molest somebody? Like, what the fuck? But you know, I don't I hate to say I don't think he was a bad guy, you know what I mean? But I mean, I don't know, like I would never willingly be around somebody like that, but it's just I don't know, like I don't know. What y'all
I
think?
have a I I have a controversial viewpoint on that.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna say this. Um, I think anybody has the potential to kill, to be honest with you. If you put me in a situation where it's my life versus yours, you've already lost. I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna hold you.
Yeah.
Um, so that doesn't necessarily mean that that makes that person a bad person. I would have to know the intent, the situation, what happened. Because if it's a self-defense situation, I'm more likely to be like, all right, well, good luck. I'm glad you lived. But if it's that you were just being a predator towards somebody, I think I would view that differently.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to say now. Now it's different if you say he was a molester, he was a rapist, he was a this, he was
Right.
that. You telling me that this man killed somebody? I would say most people, given the right set of circumstances, could be put in a situation where they would have to kill.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even that kind of situation. It was some kind of gang stuff. Um as far as I know. I'm trying to see if I can find a story on it. But it
So
seemed
then
like
that leads me
uh-huh.
to another point. When you said that, I just thought, would that be a show topic to have? Like, is it a violation if you find out that someone has been to jail and they don't want to tell you why they've been to jail? Is it a
Yeah.
violation for you to go out and actually dox them to get the
Yeah.
information on your own if they refuse? Like, what do you think about that as like a topic?
I mean, hey, yeah,
Not
people
in
go for it. You should do it,
2025.
Candy. Because y'all know it'd be slow on the weekdays, but you'll have more people come over. Um,
I mean, it ain't gotta be a
Because I know
full,
there are
but
some.
you could look for certain shit. I wouldn't say a full, but as long as you don't see nothing that alert you, like, hold on. But I think a body, depending on the circumstances, should get a. I mean, I don't know. I don't.
um,
I don't. It just depends, though. I wouldn't judge.
you wouldn't judge.
I wouldn't judge somebody.
He's talking about
It just
a
depends.
murder. Like
Like get a fan. I think you can get past it. Like I don't know. I believe you can get past that. There's certain shit you, depending on how it's done. Like you choking people out. Nah.
yeah, like for
You
instance, the
probably not.
homeboy that we just saw with the abs and the pecs and all of that stuff. If somebody ran up on him when he was in the middle of choking that lady out and killed him, now they have a body under their belt, right? Like that makes them technically a murderer. Does that make him a bad person? No, he was killing somebody. He took a life to save a life. I don't think that makes you a bad person. That's why I said what I said earlier. It depends on the circumstances. I'd have to know more before I place judgment.
Well, based on what I saw,
I know.
I cannot find it right now, but based on what I saw, he let somebody send him off, basically.
Yeah, 19 is wild though. I can't lie to you. That's wild.
And he was so handsome. He had like a baby face, but he was an older man, but he had like a I don't want to show a picture. He was handsome. He was handsome. But sometimes, like I said, you might think somebody handsome and you get to know this, like this nigga ain't shit. You know? Because you could be seeing somebody and thinking they all just like anyway. But damn, I cannot find it. I cannot find it. But yeah, that was crazy. But you know what? I just wonder how they feel. I mean, not like I want to know how I feel, but what I'm talking about is like I don't see how. That's just. I mean, I would think that would be a crazy feeling, you know, to know that you took somebody out this world.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't be impacted behind it. I just know that it's within me already to do it if put in the right circumstances. And I don't want y'all to think like, oh, she's just crazy. She's just ready to kill. I know I'm ready to defend myself.
Right.
I'm gonna put it that way.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to see if I can find this story, y'all. That's the thing about Google. Sometimes it be cooperating and sometimes it don't. I should have probably saved it. But like I said, I think I might have looked it up. I might have just thought to look it up after he passed. You know what I mean? So
what? So you didn't, when he refused to tell you, it didn't, because me being okay. I got a disclaimer. Anybody and everybody who knows me knows I'll tell you off the bat, I'm nosy.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm nosy. I'm going to ask a whole bunch of questions and it is what it is. Either you're going to tell me no or you're going to give me the info I'm looking for, right? So with that being said, once he told me no and he didn't want to tell me what he went to jail for, I'd have went and found it anyway.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't think to do that. I don't know why. Maybe I did Google, but I couldn't find anything at the time. But I think I found something about it. Wait. They got too many details on here. I'm looking at the case and stuff like that. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to see because you know how they be having buku details. Okay, blank was a block away near the elevated. Okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna read all that because I don't need nobody trying to. I
get it. You're not trying to dox him and put his business out there for real. We can roll with it.
But no, it's not. But you know, I ain't even gonna say nothing. But okay, so but anyway, he heard him tell the man to shoot the motherfucker. And I'm trying to put it in my own words. He got a gun and shot him. Yeah, but he let somebody tell him. It's like he got into an argument. Somebody got into an argument with somebody and then just told somebody else who I guess was in his gang or maybe it just was his friend or something like that to shoot him, and he shot him.
Well, Okay, gang politics is a lot different than regular like what we would do type stuff. You don't
Mm-hmm.
know if it was a situation where they told you to go kill him, and if you didn't kill him, they was gonna kill you type thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't even really, I can't say too much on that because
And guess what? It happened in
there's a
Chicago.
lot of it's a lot of details missing from that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And they have a lot of stuff in here, but I got a nigga that be taking notes. That's probably in my chat right now. So I ain't gonna say, I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. Yeah. But did y'all ever know somebody that well, I can't make sure. That's
What
like
if you
uh-huh.
what if you looked in that paperwork and you seen he told?
He what?
He was
You
a
seen he
snitch.
told? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know if he was a snitch because he was in
Wait a
jail.
minute.
Like,
No,
did
no,
he-
I ain't saying him in general.
oh,
I'm
okay, in
just
general.
I mean, yeah, yeah. What if when you
So
did look, you seen that he did whatever, but then you seen he told.
y- y- go ahead,
See
Candy.
here's where I'm gonna get in trouble for this one because I don't really have a problem with snitches. I'm a law abiding citizen. So like as long as you ain't snitching on me, I don't have no problems. But again, I know that that's not really the hood culture. He's supposed to be exiled and like we can't really fool with him. Um
And
that's
not he
tough
a
for me.
regular person. Like if he a regular person and he that ain't snitching. But I mean like you look and it was like he caught a body, but then he told, or he was booming drugs, but then he told on where he got it from. Like,
Mm-hmm.
damn.
See, I couldn't because I'd be worried about the retribution coming to you. Like if you was a banger, you're a game banger, and you caught a body and you told you done snitched on somebody, it's somebody waiting to get their lick back off you. I
Right,
wouldn't be in your presence.
right. So my response to that is I don't really get into all that, and like I said, I you can meet somebody and appearances can be deceiving. That's all I'm gonna say. Like you could see somebody and be thinking like, oh, this is a hardworking man, oh, he, be driving his work truck and blah blah blah. Like, okay, like I wonder if he married. You know what I mean? You thinking like, oh, this is a real hardworking man. When you
But wait,
huh?
slow down, because is appearances deceiving? Because him being hardworking, like he could have killed somebody at 19, got out of jail, and been rehabbed as jail intended for him
Yeah,
to be, and
that's
now he is a hardworking man who has a job, and that was
true.
just part of his past.
I mean, I guess. I
The
guess.
question is he still murdering and gangbanging today? I guess
Oh
that's the difference.
no, I
That
hope
that's
not.
how
One
you would
time,
judge.
wait. One time I was on the phone with this, and I'm a square. I don't like shit like this. One time I was on the phone with this nigga, and he was okay. He had a dog named Rachel. I don't know how you name a dog Rachel,
A
but
dog named Rachel is
but
different.
so basically, I guess his dog wasn't like really secured or whatever like that. But they had another dog coming around, trying to mess with his dog as far as like, trying to, hump her or whatever like that. So I'm on the phone with this nigga, and this nigga actually shot a gun at the dog. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, because this was before this was when I used to be like anti-gun. And then I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
then you a felon. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why are you shooting a gun? In like, what are you doing? Just because a dog is trying? I don't even know. Like, but I was like,
Well, I mean, it depends on it depends on the dogs. Because if you got two pit bulls, two Rottweilers, even though you might want to get your dog out of the way, I'm not jumping in the middle of that. You're gonna be mauled to death. So I can see why he would go to some extreme to try and scare the other dog off.
yeah, maybe I'm just
No, if you a felon, no, you ain't even supposed to be around no guns. So
exactly. So I'm not
being
crazy, right?
reckless enough to waste that type of shit on a dog
Right.
is wild
Right.
work.
And guess what? He said something like, he shoot his gun like for New Year's or something like that. And I'm like, I hate ignorant shit like
Okay,
that. I hate dumb
okay,
shit like that.
okay. Let me explain a little bit about Chicago, right? Dep- you got me defending degeneracy right now.
Right.
Depending on what depending on what neighborhood you live in, you don't want to get caught lacking. So people will go out and shoot their gun just so the other neighbors know they got that bug.
But yeah, I was like, wait, but why would you do that? Because I'm the type of person, I'm always gonna come with it. This is why you shouldn't be doing this. I'm like, okay, do you know that falling bullets kill? You know, I tell him about this case, tell him about that. But he was acting like he didn't give a fuck. And I'm like, okay, no, no, I can't deal with this type of shit.
True enough, that does happen. I'm just letting you know about the mentality of why some of these folks do what they do. Like, it's my city, and like, I've heard like, I'm not gonna tell too much of my business either, but you know, I know that's why some folks do it. Is because they want to make sure that you know, not this house. We got one too, type thing. Especially if they are like, as a felon, you're not supposed to have it, of course, for sure. But that's why some folks go out and do it on New Year's. I am lucky now that I don't live in any areas where that's a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, so but that's when you know, well, you know how men have categories they put women into. I would say like he was like in the other category. You know what I'm saying? Like he was somebody I would never like take serious. You know what I mean? It was just more like, you know, I don't know.
I'm gonna go ahead and laugh that off because I ain't gonna say what I want to say. We in mixed company.
Yeah, he was in the category for like I could fucking never, because some people just don't know no better. You know what I mean? And actually, I don't want to sound real fucked up, but I after I found out that he died, because I don't know how long it had been since I talked to him when I found that out. I'm trying to see how I even knew. Maybe I Googled him. I don't know. Maybe I was on his face. Maybe I went on his Facebook or something. I don't even know how I found out. But I went on his Facebook and I saw like his relatives or whatever. And no, not no, zero, But
wait, what happened? What does zero say? I want to see.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Let me go.
Oh, it's not even a real big deal, but I mean, it's just, well, it's not a big deal. But I saw some of his relatives on his page, and so I sent them like a message saying what happened to him, and they told me what happened. But then you know how when you meet some people, family, and then you be like, okay, that explains it. And it wasn't nothing that they did, but just the way that they typed, you know what I mean? And just the way that they spelled and shit. I'm just like, okay, yeah, this nigga come from the gutter. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I think it was his auntie and maybe his niece. And I'm just like, these motherfuckers can't even spell nothing, you know? I was like, well, I mean, I guess that makes sense, you know, considering, you know, who he was, you know.
This man catching all kinds of strays from the grave.
But I'm saying, like, no, but it just goes to show people don't really have that much control over how they turn out. You know what I mean? That's really what I'm saying, because, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. People be acting like the people that's around them, basically, you know.
What you think about that, Blue?
I think to an extent, you kind of act like your environment for the most.
Yeah.
But I think you able to stand out though, and then kind of separate. You should stand out and separate yourself. Some people don't though. But usually by like 15, you start to.
You still there? Oh, you on mute. Okay.
Oh yeah, my fault. You couldn't hear me?
No.
No, we heard you. I didn't realize you were done with your thought. You went right back.
Yeah.
Right back on mute after you said that. I got you. All right.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Nature versus nurture. I think when you have parents who give a damn about you, even if it is a single parent household, you stand more of a chance. Like the homeboy, the Cleophas dude. I don't call him homeboy. Excuse me. He's not my homeboy. Cleophas dude, when they said he had a rap sheet from the time he was 11 through 16, which included all of those issues, you know, with some problems going on in his family.
Right.
You said what's his name?
Cleophas, the one who was in jail for 20 years and then got out, and Cleophas,
Yeah,
one of
Cleotha
those.
or Cleota, but it's spelled like Cleotha. I'm laughing because you said Cleophas or Cleophas. But yeah, he was in prison for kidnapping somebody and like robbing them, making them take money out the ATM. He was in prison for like almost 20 years, and then he got out. He committed a crime against a black woman, but nobody gave a fuck, right? But then he actually ended up killing a white woman, and then that's when he got caught, and then now he's back in prison. So
God damn.
yeah.
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 So he was the one who he had a lengthy rap sheet as a teenager,
right
before he even got to the point, like he had
he had
kidnapped an attorney, a male attorney, as a
he had a rape
teenager,
charge.
and
He had a
tried to
rape
get him.
charge as a juvenile.
Yeah, as a juvenile.
Where
Crazy.
was he
He was a
from?
messed up dude. Where did they say he was from? Tennessee? Was it Tennessee? Yeah, because
Yeah, this
yeah,
happened
he
in
was from
Memphis. I
Memphis.
don't know if that's where he was
Yeah.
from, but probably so. Yeah.
Some niggas be sad early. It'd be crazy, but I don't know. Most people ain't like that, and then you got most people just be followers, and then you got a few people that's just over the top savage, and then you got a few people that's able to kind of have their own influence, but it's tough.
So why you think he won't tell me why he was in prison?
Because look how you responded.
I know, right? But that's that's exactly what I was
Because look how
thinking.
you responded.
That's what I was thinking. You
He
know,
was trying to get a fair shake. He
Tell
wanted you to
nobody I
get to know
caught
him.
nobody. That's crazy work.
Yeah.
huh? Would you say, Blue?
I said I'll never tell nobody I caught nobody. That's crazy.
Really? But no. But the thing
You
is, some people, like Candy said, may not really have a problem or may not really judge you for it. You know. So I feel like he probably just felt like I was the type of person that was gonna judge him for it, which I
Man,
definitely
that's
am
natural.
judging him.
But yeah, I mean, if I had to charge though, I wouldn't even admit to that.
you went low on us again, Blue. I
I
feel
say
like I'm
even if
struggling
I
to hear
had to
you.
charge, I was saying even if I had to charge, I
Yeah,
probably
okay, I see what you're saying.
admit to that. I'd probably be like, nah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. You would deny it. But you would you say, okay, well, they said I killed somebody. They said I did it.
Yeah. I'd be like, that's what they said.
But one time, it ain't even me telling on myself, but okay, so let's just say there was this white woman, right? I was like in my early to mid 20s, but there was this white woman, right? She was telling me a story about like her hooking up with some man, right? And I found out later, okay, so the way she told me the story, she left out some stuff, right? But I found out later what the whole story was. So as it turns out, what she was doing was like going to different areas, going to different men, and basically how she was making it was she was like prostituting herself, right? And so she got into it with this man, and it was this old white man. But I remember she like threw some flowers at him, or like a vase with some flowers or whatever. And then she was like, he's a piece of shit or whatever. And then the man was like, don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. But you know, I was I'm trying to say, well,
You might as well go ahead and share it. Now you done got us intrigued.
I'm about to say.
But so as I found out, it was funny to me because as I found out, like another old white lady, she ended up telling me that, oh, she was going around, you know, going to different and like, you know, and prostituting herself. But the thing is, I was so fucking green. I didn't pick up on that, you know, because when she had told me the story of why she got into it with him, she said something about how she couldn't get him up or whatever. And then she said somebody he had whiskey dick, and he was like, no, you just not a good whatever. You're not whatever, I don't know, but they got into it because he couldn't like get it up or whatever like that. So this old messy white lady, after the fact, like after the woman had like moved out and stuff like that, she told me that the woman was basically prostituting herself, and he told her like, okay, you're not a good whore because he couldn't get hard. And then so I'm just thinking like, what the fuck? You know, because at first the first story is like, okay, it's a regular ass story, right? But then it's like you add in all this other stuff. But what I thought was interesting was clearly she don't give a fuck what she do if she going around selling herself to people that's, you know, she don't give a fuck. So why did she, when she was telling me the story, why did she feel a need to like leave that out? You see what I'm saying? Why did she feel
that was your neighbor?
You could say that. You could kind of say that. Yeah. You could kind of say that. Yeah. But
I probably thought you was gonna mess up her business.
Possibly.
You gonna be bad for business if you know. You might tell the landlord.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, I don't know. Sometimes people feel that's kind of what I was saying about like even if somebody killed somebody, they might be okay with certain people knowing, but if they feel like you're gonna like judge them, then they don't. You know what I mean? They show like a different face to different people. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm rambling right now, but I thought it was interesting because the thing is, I would have never even thought that that was what was going on because, you know, I hadn't really seen much. So when I found that, I was like, oh, you know. But I think probably a lot of other people, they would have probably already figured it out, you know, and even they probably wouldn't have been as shocked as I was. And then like the man, he was saying, don't listen to her, don't listen to her. But he was kind of like, I'm not gonna
When
say.
you think about it now, though, when you think about it now and you replay different things you might have seen regarding her over time, does it make sense? Like,
I mean,
now can you go back and piece it together? Like, man, she did have a lot of boyfriends, though. Or visitors, quote unquote.
I guess I wasn't. It's like I was the type of person, I didn't even honestly like some shit could be going on right in front of my face. Okay, let me tell you this story. I'm okay, so I mean, of course I'm older now, so like, you know, I can pick up on more stuff now. But one time, okay, this is when I was working at Pilot. Okay, wait, let me see. Zero. This is when I was working at Pilot, right? So there was this girl, her name was Lakeisha. We called her Keisha.
Okay.
So I was working like we was both on the register, right? And so I was just, I don't know, I was talking, like telling her about whatever happened or whatever story I was telling her about. So okay, so there was this lady. This lady had come in, and there was, okay, so it was busy. It was pretty busy at this time. You know how you get a rush or whatever. So I had a long line and Keisha had a long line. So all I know is a lady who had gone through her line, she came back in like a few minutes later and was like, oh, did I leave my wallet? And Keisha was like, oh no, I don't, you know, I didn't, I don't think you left it. But so then all I know is I'm thinking, okay, that's the end of it. Like, okay, that's the end of it. But then I come in the next morning and the manager name was Joan, and Keisha was already supposed to be there. Like Keisha was supposed to come in at like 6. I was supposed to come in at like 8. So the line all backed up. I'm like, what Keisha? And then Joan was like, she had that lady wallet. And I was like, oh, I couldn't even believe it. I was like, oh my God. Wait, Zero, come back, Zero. My bad. I know I keep talking. But yeah, I was like, oh. So as it turns out, right, the lady who had left her wallet, she was actually a driver's wife. So but he was a driver that he would come and deliver gas to Pilot. You know what I mean? He would come and deliver gas. So everybody knew him. So, you know, that was his wife who had left her wallet. So she, you know, I guess maybe told him, or, you know, but anyway, they went back and looked at the cameras, right? And so you could see the lady leaving her wallet, and then it was like somebody behind her tried to like draw her attention to it, but like Keisha didn't call the lady back or whatever like that. So at some point she took the wallet and she put it under her register or whatever, like in a little area under her register, and she was like going through it. So but I didn't notice it. So it was like I was just talking and walking back and forth and like putting cigarettes up, you know, on the wall and stuff like that. But every time, I didn't see the camera, but this is what I was told. basically every time like I would come by where she was, or every time I would like face her direction, she would stop what she was doing. But like when I wasn't paying attention, she would be underneath the register, like digging in the wallet, you know? So, but I guess they was trying to figure out if I was like in on it or whatever like that, which I'm glad that I didn't know what she was doing, because like even if I had seen what she was doing and I didn't say anything, then I would have gotten in trouble, you know what I mean? But I had no idea. But she like went through the wallet, and then she went to the back somewhere and threw the wallet somewhere and ended up getting fired. And so I just thought I thought it was interesting that I don't know, like I don't know what does that, so what does that mean? Like I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it. But it was, I don't know.
He should knew you would probably snitch if you saw her and
I
you
wouldn't
weren't gonna
even
be
know.
down with her little scam, so
I
she
wasn't
hid it
even
from
gonna
you.
snitch, but I would just took it and been like, hey, like, you know, I would have turned it in, you know. Um, yeah, I don't like that type of shit. But that, I don't know, it just made me wonder. And like I said, I'm rambling again, but it just what about me people be thinking like I'm just so green, you know? You know what I mean? Because they'll say stuff in a certain way, but then I'll find out later it's like so much more to the story. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I just just rambling. What's up, Zero?
Oh, what's up?
Hey,
Hey,
I think
hey
the last
Yeah.
Zero.
I think the last time I heard you
Hey,
talk was
Ken.
when you went live.
What you said? What was the
The
last
last
time?
time I heard you talk was when you went live.
Oh yeah, yeah. I haven't been live
Yeah,
in so long.
right. So what's your thoughts?
I guess as far as like if I found some money, the only time I would take it if there's no one around like to give it to or something like that, or
Yeah,
like to do it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. But if it's like somebody nearby, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try to find out who it is. Man, ain't no point in. I know
yeah.
how I feel. Like I lost some money,
Yeah. Well,
and
yeah, I done lost money. I done found money, you know. Hey, it's
yeah,
as the world turns, you know what I mean? Hey, Miss Queen Sunkissed. I remember one time I was in Wet Seal. I had, you know how they make, I don't know why they do this, but they make women's jeans so fucking like, I guess I guess they was like skinny
The
jeans or whatever.
lowriders.
No, not they were skinny jeans, but you know how they make the pockets so like shallow, you know?
Shallow, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
pockets don't hold shit. So I had $100 bill in my pocket, and I know I had it when I went in the store. So I'm in Wet Seal, like I'm trying shit on, blah blah blah. I go up to the register. And you know I had to take my pants off and put them back on. I don't know what I was thinking, but I go up to the register. That $100 was gone, and I knew that like another girl and maybe her mom or somebody had come up in there. So I was like looking. I went back to the dressing room and stuff like that to look for it, but it was just gone. I was like, damn. So I just lost $100. But I mean, like I said, I found money before too. One time I found $50 like walking the pilot. So, and I was like, oh shit. So I don't know. Yeah, it's been a while since I lost money because I mean, you know, I don't really carry money like that.
I don't either.
Yeah,
It'd be rare if I do though.
that's a thing of the past. So like when they rob you now, they make you send them money with your cash app. They don't, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? This is stick up.
That's the
What's your cash
dumbest
app?
shit ever.
It's a stick up. Unlock your cash app.
Yeah, that ain't for that. And I've had people try to rob me too, and very unsuccessful.
Really? I ain't never
Yeah,
had nobody try to rob me. Somebody robbed my auntie, and both of my brothers got robbed. One of my brothers
yeah.
got robbed working at McDonald's. Uh it was after they closed, and they was leaving out, and somebody was out there with with a gun or whatever, and pointed at him or whatever, was waving it at him and said go back in, and made him go back in the room and give him money and stuff like that. um yeah, I just remember when my brother got home. Yeah, I mean, my mama was like, what, they put the gun into your head? He was like, no, they just was, they was waving it or whatever. So that was when my older brother got robbed. Then my little brother got robbed getting off the fucking school bus. I don't know why he was. Maybe he was on a football team or something like that. But he and we had like a camera. We had a camera at the time, but he got off the school bus. The school bus dropped him off right. Um, I don't know, maybe like on the corner or something like that. But somebody came up to him with a gun and stole his backpack. So I ain't never been robbed. I would probably like, damn, I don't know, man. If I got robbed, I don't even know, man.
Can I
Yeah, 'cause I
jump
know
in
I
here?
had.
I had a point I wanted to make about
Oh,
Keisha.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You got lucky Keisha got caught with that wallet, because Keisha the type, if she running scams like that, Keisha would have been the type to short your register out and get you fired.
Yeah, and I was so shocked. I was so shocked that she did that. Um, okay, Queen Sun Kiss, I'm gonna tell you what we were talking about in a minute. I just want to see what you think about this shit. But what was I gonna say about Keisha? Oh yeah, I was trying to call her. Like, I was trying to call her. That girl she would never answer her phone after that. She just wouldn't. I was like, well, I guess she ain't gonna answer her phone no more. I guess she embarrassed or whatever. And it was this other dude I worked with at Chili's. And he was stealing wings. Like, when I say wings, I'm not talking about like, oh, he made some wings. I'm talking about he was stealing like cases of wings. Remember, his name was Terrence. And he ended up getting fired. And so he stopped answering the phone too. I'm like, damn, what the shit, just because you got fired, that don't mean we can't be friends no more. You know what I mean? I guess people be embarrassed or whatever. I don't know.
You calling that man
You
to
know,
see
you
if he
know,
got any
you,
more wings left?
Right.
try to get the wing hook up.
People be doing any
Like,
goddamn.
nigga, I know you got another box. Sorry.
Right.
Right, yeah. Stop being stingy.
Right. But you know what?
But yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, what about like with some of y'all, like even you were cool with somebody, and then you stop working there, and you going to talk to you run the same people, they act like they don't even know you. Like, oh, okay, oh, that's what we're doing.
Wait, say again. Like, if you're working with somebody you was already cool with?
Yeah, you work with somebody, and you don't know how to work with them, and then
Yeah.
you see them somewhere else, they act like they don't even know you.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I be
hey,
seeing that, I be like, oh, okay.
yeah. Yup.
I'm like, man, so friendly when you at work, but then like when you not, no, I'm
Oh,
working with them. Oh yeah.
I can't say that's ever happened to me. I can't say that's ever
I ain't
happened to
gonna
me.
lie, bro. That's me. I don't even want to see you after work, bro. That never remind me of work.
But
Um,
but like most, most jobs, like I really don't even care to even talk to anybody. Matter of fact, remember anybody's name.
yeah.
I don't even be asking nobody's name.
Nah, for real, bro.
Let's not really cool with
So this is what I was thinking about. And I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm just like so perfect or goody two shoes, right? But one thing I was thinking about with that situation with Keisha, you know how she had like a split second to make her decision, right? Because as the lady was walking off and she saw that she was leaving her wallet, she could have stopped her and been like, "Hey, ma'am, you're forgetting your wallet." Or even as the guy behind her said, "Oh, is she forgetting her wallet?" You know what I mean? She made a choice like in that moment. It was either, "Hey, I can give her back her wallet," or B, I could try to do some sneaky shit, you know? And so my thing is, maybe she would have made the same decision. Let's just say if she had time to really think about it, right? Maybe she would have still made the decision. But what does it mean? Like, what's the difference between a decision that you make in a split second versus a decision that you make like right after? I mean, I'm sorry, after thinking about it for a while. I sometimes thought about that and I was thinking, well, just the fact that that was her instinct to do, that kind of even says more about like who she is. Or what y'all think? Do you think that um I guess, do you think it makes it better or worse that it was like a split second decision? Because I was thinking, well, for somebody to do that like without even thinking about it, it makes me think that's just how they are. You know what I mean? Like they feel like that's what they're supposed to do, to the point where you're doing it automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I think some people
definitely
is
they
just
are.
is just schemers and
I can
scammers
see it both ways though.
and
I can see it both
addicted
ways
to it.
because sometimes
Because
you can. I'm
um
sorry.
I was saying if you gotta like think hard about something like that, then it's not something that like comes natural to you.
Yeah, exactly. And she just did it like she saw the opportunity and she just did it. But did you have any thoughts on that, Candy King? 'Cause I was gonna show Queen Sunkissed what we was talking about if she's still in here. What the topic was.
I did before you go on with that.
Okay.
I want to say it may not have been as split of a second decision as you think it was with Keisha,
Uh-huh.
because she might have seen. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. I saw a video of a lady shopping and she left her purse open and her
Uh-huh.
wallet in her cart in her purse.
Yeah.
And so she's standing like a few feet ahead, back to the cart and the purse and the wallet and everything. I see a couple walk past. They
Mhm.
eyeball and see that the purse is unattended. They see the wallet is poking out. They see she is distracted. And they walk past it one time, circle back around and walk past it a second time. And she still got her back to them. And before she could even turn around, they done snatched the wallet and moved on out of the store. My
Mhm.
point of bringing that up is that you might have thought that Keisha had a split second after that lady left it. She might
Mhm.
have been eyeballing that wallet before the lady even left it to know that the lady was about to leave it because the
Yeah.
lady was distracted.
Yep. That's a good
And
point. That's a
so
good point.
the man bringing it up to her attention and she basically kind of shooing him away from it. She
Yeah.
probably already had a plan in her mind, like I'm about to get this wallet and you shut
Yeah.
up, mind your business, type
Yeah.
thing.
And what she didn't count on, she didn't realize that that was the wife of the man that was in there all the time. He actually worked for Pilot, but he was the guy that delivered the gas. So we would see him all the time, but she had no way of knowing that that was his wife. So I guess she thought it was going to be easier than what it was. So
And
but
I don't think the split second decision is what prompted her to make it a bad decision. I
uh
think it was just the opportunity. The fact that she hid it under the register
yeah,
and kept
yeah.
waiting for you to turn your back. That girl knew
Yeah.
what she was doing. And
Yeah.
probably had who knows if this is even the first time or just the first time she got caught.
Exactly. Yep. Good point. Because yeah, what made it easier for her to get caught that time was because it was a driver's wife. Okay, Queen Sunkiss. Okay, so let me tell you what we was talking about. Um, I had posted. Did you see what I posted on my wall earlier today? Not the Fortnite story. I mean, not what I said about Fortnite, but what I said about that guy that got arrested. Let me see.
Now we're going to turn to the.
I'm sorry.
Okay, let me see. And so this is okay. So what I wanted to say, and the reason why I went live was because like
Tonight, this 23-year-old
to say more than I said on my wall, but I was like, okay, if I say what I'm thinking, it's gonna come out wrong. You know what I'm saying? So basically, the whole thing I was thinking was when I saw this guy, I was thinking, okay, he's not what I would have expected, you know, as far as committing this type of crime. But that just goes to show that, you know, I think a lot of people will probably try to act like they don't judge a book by its cover, but I can admit, hey, I would have been the one to judge a book by its cover. But that so I would have judged the book by its cover, and then B, the fact that nobody has to do this, right? Of course, nobody has to do it. So I don't want to sound the wrong way, but the fact that basically that's okay, put it like this gonna come out real fucked up, but like let's just say the difference between stealing because you're hungry and stealing because you like to steal. So that's kind of like what I was thinking, like he's, regardless of whatever kind of action or attention that he gets, I'm gonna play the video in a second. It's still something inside him that desires to cause pain. Like that's part of what gets him off, not just having access to like who he want when he want. He actually wants to be in the position to cause fear and pain, you know what I mean? And try to force it on somebody that does not want it, you know? So in a way, that's it's kind of like it's even scarier, you know? I don't know. I'm gonna play the video.
Tonight, this 23-year-old man is in jail accused of trying to rape and strangle a woman on a trail in Orange County. This happened in July on the Little Econ Greenway.
The woman attacked from behind near Yates Road. She was able to escape, though. West News' Gail Pascal Brown is live outside of the sheriff's office tonight. And Gail, this was obviously a scary situation for a lot of people who run on that trail every day.
No doubt. Working on a tip, looking at surveillance video, and talking to witnesses, the Sheriff's Department Sex Crimes Unit was able to make an arrest. He is 23-year-old Jacoby Tillman. He is charged with attempted sexual battery, battery by strangulation, and false imprisonment. Now, he was arrested today and taken to the Orange County Jail. Orange County Sheriff's investigators say Jacoby Tillman attacked a woman from behind while she was running on the Little Econ Greenway near Yates Road on July 25th of this year. Runners and walkers we spoke to say you have to be careful.
Anything can happen at any time. So it's always good to walk with a partner, walk with a friend.
The victim said she went for a run alone around 8 a.m. She said once she got halfway through the run and returned to her car, she noticed an unknown man behind her. Moments later, she said he grabbed her and wrapped both arms around her neck, choking her, causing her to see stars. The report says she blacked out, and when the victim woke up, she was still face down and realized that her shorts and underwear were not on anymore. Detectives also looked at some video surveillance, time-stamped around 9:05, of a man described by one of the witnesses throwing the victim's clothes over this fence at this Winter Park Auto Exchange business. Here, the suspect is seen going in and outside of a building wearing a white tank top, blue shorts, and black slides.
When we walk, we don't have nothing in our ears to watch each other's back in case one goes to the restroom. You know, you always have your ears open just in case anybody tries to sneak up behind you.
According to the arrest report, investigators spoke with Jacoby Tillman's girlfriend, who he lived with, and she asked him what really happened. He said, "I didn't rape the lady. I was trying to kill the lady." She asked him why, and he said, "Because I wanted to know what it was like to choke someone out." She said this was not a surprise to her because a few weeks earlier, she and Jacoby got into an altercation where he choked her to the point where she passed out. Now, the arrest report also says that the girlfriend got a text message today by mistake from Tillman's mother telling him to get a boarding pass from Delta Airlines to catch a flight tomorrow to Texas. Tillman is in the Orange County Jail. Covering Orange County, live in Orlando, I'm Gail Pascal Brown, West 2 News.
Yeah. So my thoughts on that are that that just goes to show you it's not about access. It's not. It's about the actual act of like forcing somebody and using violence against somebody and making them feel afraid and just hurting somebody.
Yeah, it sounds like dude's a psychopath for real.
Yeah.
Because it
Yep.
kind of like I mentioned earlier, it's kind of like like how like in the show Dexter will say he has this dark passenger that makes him like
Yeah.
want to take out people and all that. It's kind of like with that he's like trying to explore different type of stuff like that. That's what it sounds like. He's trying to explore stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if he probably got away with that, it
Yep.
probably would have grown to be more and more extreme.
That's what I said, because he attacked somebody in 2022, but he didn't actually like choke her or anything. He basically just was chasing her. He chased her and let her go 3 different times. He was just like grabbing her arms and stuff like that. But he didn't actually see this. But the second woman, or who knows if it's the second or more than that, but he actually ended up choking her out and pulling off her, clothes and stuff like that. So he definitely was on his way to killing somebody.
Well, I mean, he was just experimenting. So he's like seeing different types of types of ways. So like in that first one instance, he probably just like interested in like how the chase would be, like what it'd be like to chase somebody
Yeah.
and catch him and
Mhm.
all that. That's why he kept letting it go, like to see
Yep.
what it was like. And in this one,
Yep.
he wanted to see what somebody choked out. And then who will know next time? Say probably see what it'd be like to maybe
Yep.
unalive somebody and see
Yep.
what that's like to.
Yep. Um, and it goes to show that um it doesn't matter how many women he have around him. You know what I mean? How many different girlfriends he got, how many different side chicks he got. Because it's not about that. It's not about that.
Say
Because
say
he
that
went
say
he
that.
went
Oh
this
my God.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. But he went there
Oh,
like specifically to seek somebody out and like hunt them down and prey on them.
yeah,
Because
yeah. Because basically, if he had been gone a lot longer, like undetected, whatever,
yeah.
he would have been a serial killer.
Yep, exactly. Yep. 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 And I was saying earlier that it kind of reminds me of Ted Bundy, even though Ted Bundy wasn't handsome, but they always want to say how handsome and charming he was. But why he could use that, whatever so-called handsomeness and charm to, be a womanizer, get as many women as he want. But that's not what he used it for. What he used it for was to feed his sick desires and his sick fantasies.
Yeah,
Um,
you use that to make him feel at ease. Like, oh yeah, he's like a normal guy, like imitate friendliness,
yeah.
and what's got me to a comfortable state. That's when he made his move.
Right. Yeah. But this guy, he is a little different just because he actually just straight out just attacked the woman. It seemed like he didn't try to, you know, but at the same time, that means that just on a regular day, he's sitting there thinking about how he wants to put somebody in that situation because it gets him off. So it's not just the sex aspect of it, but it is the actual like predator aspect of it and the sadism. So yeah, that's crazy.
Probably doesn't even like really even feel like this is like wrong or anything like that. That's the crazy thing.
Well, they say his mama was trying to get him out of town. So I mean, that shows how he was raised. But um,
She probably knew who he was. That's
that's
probably
what
why she
Candy
probably trying to get him
said.
out there.
Yeah, that's what Candy said.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to say too much, but uh, yeah, I don't know. I'm just leaving that alone. But that's crazy.
You were saying that his mama's being an enabler. She is that where I'm sorry. I was
Oh
a bit
no,
distracted.
I
Is
was
that where you
saying
were
I don't know if
that
she
no.
necessarily named it. Then she kind of like knows like I think maybe she thought she was helping him. Well, maybe we get him away from this area. Maybe he won't do it. Maybe it's what she was thinking in her head. Even though she probably know deep down that that's not going to stop anything.
he had a
Yeah,
lengthy history though. Even if you move him to another I think she was more so trying to help him escape
yeah,
because you just want to send him to Texas. Like they didn't say, well, come here and we'll have somebody watch you. We're gonna help you, we're gonna fix you. It was just get him out of town and send him to Texas. I'm like, man, them Texas women should come whoop your behind.
yep, yep. No, what I was gonna say was um yeah, being that way like he is. I'm just saying it really has nothing to do with how a person looks. Some people just like that. So yeah.
And you got to think about this. These are like type people that like people do like all this kind of research on and still like still figuring out what's going on with them as far as that.
Yeah. Yeah. So my theories were either A, that's just what gets him off, like that's just something that's inside of him, that he kind of just he needs that. So because the regular way ain't enough for him. But then the other thing I was thinking is um this is this sounds kind of fucked up. Once again, this is more like but okay, so let me give an example. I don't know who this football player was, but this guy I used to work with, he told me there was this football player that he basically said that he had fucked so many different women to where it wasn't doing it for him anymore. Like he wasn't getting, it just wasn't doing it for him anymore. So then he started messing with men. So the guy I worked with, he was like, okay, just let me know at what point I gotta stop, So I mean, because it's like, how the fuck? I just ain't never heard of that. Like, okay, you mess with so many women to the point where you gotta mess with a man in order to get off. Now, I was thinking maybe in his case, like maybe he's so used to having something, the typical way. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he needed something a little stronger. As they say, you know what I mean? I don't know.
You basically, like what we said earlier, you get so used to the vanilla that it doesn't do it for you
Yeah.
anymore, and then you
Yeah.
start dibbling and dabbling in darker ventures.
Right.
And that's not the first person I've heard say something like, I don't know if you ever watched Black Ink Crew, but there's a dude named Four on there, and he
Mm-hmm.
was another one who said that regular sex just didn't get it for him anymore, to the
Yeah.
point where he started doing like crazy stuff, and
Yeah.
men was a part of his, like, I guess, evolution. When you get
Oh
to a
wow.
point where you having that much sex that you gotta evolve with
Yeah.
it, you might want to slow down. But hey.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's why that guy I used to work with. He was like, "Okay, let me know when I gotta stop, because I'm not trying to cross over." Because yeah,
It's like
that's
it's like Pandora's box though. Like, I feel like there's certain buttons you probably should be careful of pressing, because
hmm
once you've opened that door, are you going to be able to close it back, or is it going to lead you again down more depraved hallways?
hmm Yep. Because there could be a guy that's ugly as hell, but he's a perfect gentleman. Um, so yeah. But yeah, I don't really. I think it's probably less to do with that, but more to do with just the way he is. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking just has to do with the way he is, and just the way he is, just it doesn't have anything to do with um his physical appearance or like his options. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah,
Tonight, this 23-year-old man is in jail.
hold on.
Tonight, this 23-year-old man is in jail accused of trying to rape and strangle a woman on a trail in Orange County. This happened in July on the Little Econ Greenway.
The woman attacked from behind near Yates Road. She was able to escape, though. West 2's Gail Pascal Brown is live outside of the sheriff's office tonight. And Gail, this was obviously a scary situation for a lot of people who run on that trail every day.
No doubt. Working on a tip, looking at surveillance video, and talking to witnesses, the Sheriff's Department Sex Crimes Unit was able to make an arrest. He is 23-year-old Jacoby Tillman. He is charged with attempted sexual battery, battery by strangulation, and false imprisonment. Now, he was arrested today and taken to the Orange County Jail. Orange County Sheriff's investigators say Jacoby Tillman attacked a woman from behind while she was running on the Little Econ Greenway near Yates Road on July 25th of this year. Runners and walkers we spoke to say you have to be careful.
Anything can happen at any time. So it's always good to walk with a partner, walk with a friend.
The victim said she went for a run alone around 8 a.m. She said once she got halfway through the run and returned to her car, she noticed an unknown man behind her. Moments later, she said he grabbed her and wrapped both arms around her neck, choking her, causing her to see stars. The report says she blacked out, and when the victim woke up, she was still face down and realized that her shorts and underwear were not on anymore. Detectives also looked at some video surveillance It's time
we
stamped
stopped
around
right
9.
there. Zero. I don't know if you were here when I said it earlier. See, he didn't go all the way, right? They said he's being charged with attempted, right? So now we've seen, I showed the other story where the man had got out of prison after like 20 years, and he just straight up like he, went all the way to the point of killing a woman and leaving her like behind an abandoned house or something like that. But he's probably was like well, obviously he's like a hardened criminal, and he had already done worse things before, than what this guy was doing. But I think because of the fact that he was ramping up, the first time he just kind of like tried it out, he was probably like, oh, I wonder what that would feel like. You know what I mean? Oh, let me go find some girl at the park and like run up on her and scare her. Like that excited him. You know what I mean? So that was enough for that point in time. Then he's like, okay, well, let me try to like, maybe I'll go all the way. But then maybe he got scared or something like that, or he just couldn't do it, But if they don't put him in prison, then he eventually it's gonna be really bad. That's what I think.
05 of a man described by
He's
one of the
getting up his
witnesses
nerve.
throwing the victim's clothes over this fence at this
working his
Winter
way up
Park
to,
Auto Exchange business.
being able to do
Here,
it.
the suspect is seen going in and outside of a building wearing a white tank top, blue shorts, and black slides.
When we walk, we don't have nothing in our ears to watch each other's back in case one goes to the restroom. You always have your ears open just in case anybody tries to sneak up behind you.
According to the arrest report, investigators spoke with Jacoby Tillman's girlfriend, who he lived with, and she asked him what really happened. He said, I didn't rape the lady. I was trying to kill the lady. She asked him why, and he said, because I wanted to know what it was like to choke someone out. She said this was not a surprise to her because a few weeks earlier, she and Jacoby got into an altercation where he choked her to the point where she passed out. Now, the arrest report also says that the girlfriend got a text message today by mistake from Tillman's mother, telling him to get a boarding pass from Delta Airlines to catch a flight tomorrow to Texas. Tillman is in the Orange County Jail. Covering Orange County, live in Orlando, I'm Gail Pascal Brown, West 2 News.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to call it a night. I just wanted to play that one more time. And like I said, this was just really impromptu. Ideally I would have tried to do some research on it so I could speak more intelligently about it. But it was just more so just me expressing my natural reaction. And I'm not even being as blunt as I could be, because I'm trying to be like appropriate, if you know what I mean. But I'm just saying, like, okay, yeah, I'm about to call it a night too, Candy Cane. But thank you for coming up. Thank you. Have a good night. Yeah, I didn't see anybody talking about this. This story is a couple weeks old now, but I did just want to get an idea of what other people think about this. So,
it'd be certain stories that be like fall through the cracks and be like,
yeah.
Ain't nobody talking about this.
Yeah, I that was the first I heard of it. I'm not even sure how I saw it, but yeah, and that's the thing, right? I mean, I know it's a weeknight, but I don't know, man. I just think I don't know. But anyway, ideally, I would have tried to read up on it a little bit more and been able to speak more intelligently about it. But just to repeat my 2 points that I was making earlier, I don't know if people agree or disagree. It's not about access. That's one. Well, you can't judge a book by its cover. That was one. That was number one. But then the creepier part about it was that his only motivation is just to be a deviant creep, because there's literally, I mean, there's no reason anybody should do that. But I'm saying, like, just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like this might be like some addiction with like stuff like that. Like some,
Yeah.
I mean, whether sexual or other, is definitely like a great fascination with him to the point like where he
Yeah.
has to do stuff like this.
Uh-huh. And Candy Cane had brought up the example of Trey Songz. I don't really follow Trey Songz, but I know apparently he's been accused by different people, and even different celebrities have told on him. And that kind of reminds me of like Harvey Weinstein. It's a power thing, but it's more like the way I'm thinking about it is like, it's me and my damn analogies, but you know how you can boil something down, right? And then like get to what it really is. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that, you know?
Yeah.
We know, since there's no other factors, well, I'm not saying there are no other factors, but now we know that it's actually just pure deviance, as a motivation. So of course we knew that this existed, right? But I just thought that was a good example that just happened to come across today, of like just deviance for the sake of being deviant.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of talking about like what you say, like you try to burrow to
Yeah.
like to it, and like it kind of got me think of like a quote that I heard like from Sherlock Holmes. It like said like if you solve a case like if whatever if whatever's left, no matter how improbable, must be the truth. Like
Yeah, exactly. Because now we can't say is this, we can't say is that.
yeah,
He's not the creepy old white guy with the beer gut and the neck beard and the huge glasses,
yeah,
walking around the park watching people, like watching women and recording them on their phones. That's not him.
yeah. I mean, like I said, like he had the potential to be a serial killer if left
Yeah.
alone. Like and like if you see him a serial killer, like a lot of them have like different motivations, different ways of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I mean, like I think like this part, like they don't say like kind of cause me like watching Criminal Minds and like shows
Yeah.
like that, like like say how some serial killers like look at what they do with some kind of art. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying that dude's case it is, but because
Right.
he seems like he still was trying to find you know what what worked for him or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And I
But
think
like I said, yeah, but had he not get caught,
mm-hmm.
we might have he might have found like what worked for him, and then
Yep.
it would have been worse, and
Yep.
then it'd be a whole pattern right there.
Yep. He was ramping up. First time was like a trial run, or it was a dry run. Second time is like, okay, well, he probably wanted to do the whole shebang, but maybe he just lost his nerve. You know what I mean? But next
Yeah, I
time
mean,
he was gonna
yeah,
be ready.
yeah. It's kind of like one of the times like they caught him before he really he really became a
Yeah.
serious threat to like any potential women or whoever his victims may have been in the future.
Yeah. But that makes me wonder, like him being so young, do they even try to reform people like that in prison, or all those people even open to be reformed? Because
I
they
mean,
always
I
talk
mean, I mean,
about.
I mean, I mean,
Mhm.
I think they tried, but it doesn't seem to. Yeah, I don't think it really seems to work. But I mean, don't stop trying. But I think it's kind of hard to do it because their brains are wired differently
Yeah.
than
Mm-hmm.
most people
Yeah. Yeah.
because they don't have that sense of remorse that like most people have. So it's like
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Um. Yeah. All right. Well, Zero. I'm about to call it a night. Thank you for coming
what
up.
what,
Thank you
what
so
you
much
what
for
you
coming up.
chomping on?
Um.
What you chomping?
I'm addicted to this candy. Like I'm gonna have to post it. But
What candy?
Starburst gummy sours.
Uh,
Like I'm literally addicted. Like literally. And it's not even funny. Like it's not even cute. Like, and then what made it worse is it's hard to like it's for some reason it's becoming harder to find it. It used to be my tried and true places I could always go and find it. Now it's like, okay, why don't y'all have my shit? And like I be telling them, hey, y'all ain't got my shit. Oh, okay, we're gonna get it. Come back, like y'all still ain't got my shit. You know? So
it's kind of funny. Like they be having like one product be good, and then whenever they'll take it away. And then,
yeah, I would be going to the gas station, looking around at all that bullshit. I'm like, I don't want this shit. Where's my candy? But so
yeah, might be something you have to order online or something.
Me being a fiend, I went on Amazon and ordered. It's like an 8-pack. It was an 8-pack of the. Let me see. Let's just say I'm on my last bag, but it was 8 9-ounce bags of it. And so I'm the type of person, I do not have like self-control when it comes to sugar. I just don't. So like
I got I got like same addiction to sweets. That's why I became a pastry chef. That's why I
yeah,
became a pastry chef.
But my brothers and my sister be looking at me like, what the fuck? They be like, you really just be eating candy like that? Because I guess they look at it like a childish thing, but I just never lost that, I just never lost the
I didn't need it all. That's why I became a pastry chef. I can make my own sweets.
You say you're what?
A pastry chef.
Oh, nice. Oh, that gotta be nice. Yeah.
I'm not working on fresh now, but I do have those skills. I think before I came in, I'm like I taught myself how to cook and bake. So it's like when I did all that, I kind of learned like more skills. More about it on top of it. So
I made one time I made rice pudding. Came out good.
I've heard that, but I don't know exactly what that is.
It's probably like maybe more of a, let me see, maybe it's a regional thing. But I don't really remember. It was a long time ago, but it's like rice, but it's mushy rice. Okay, rice, milk, sugar, and flavorings like vanilla and cinnamon until it thickens into a creamy pudding like consistency. So I used to work at this restaurant. They used to sell rice pudding, and they had like a blowtorch. They would like put the brown sugar or whatever it was on top of it, or the sugar, and then they would melt it, and create like that crispy crust at the top. But I didn't have a blowtorch, of course, so I just I heated the sugar in the pan until it melted, and it really like kind of turned into like almost like caramel or something. But then I poured it on top.
That's what it is. I call it
Yeah.
caramelization. But like the caramel that like you thinking about, like it is burnt sugar, but they add like other type of stuff like
cream,
sugar, butter, and all cream and all
all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but
burnt sugar it is caramel in basically.
So I melted the sugar and poured it on top, and so it still got that little that crunchy little sugar crust. That shit was good. But back in the day, for some reason, maybe it was because I used to work at restaurants and stuff, I used to cook like all the time. Like I'll cook at like every night. Every time I wanted something to eat, like I'll cook a steak. Okay, I'm gonna cook a piece of salmon tonight. I used to just cook. You know what I mean? But now it's like, I don't know. I just kind of lost interest in it. But I hate that I lost interest in it because, I have way more like resources now to do what I want to do. But it's like back then I didn't have shit, but I was still making it work. You know what I mean? I still,
Yeah, I love cooking, but I love baking more. That's why I chose like pastry chef, like over just like culinary, just culinary in general. But but it's like I said, I'd already taught myself some skills already. So just like when I learned it from somebody who had probably went to school for it or something like that, it just enhanced what I already knew.
Yeah.
And then like I guess like after like the COVID, I didn't really get to learning more. So then I just kind of just went back doing myself, just figuring all the rest of it out myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cause like I mean for like COVID was before COVID even happened. Like I remember I was supposed to like learn how to make cookies and cream ice cream because that was my favorite ice cream,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't get to make it because the restaurant shut down because of that. So I was like, man, and then I think once I had moved into like a new apartment that I was that I was staying at the time, I was like, I think like when I got real settled in there, then I was like, when I started getting back into baking stuff because
Mm-hmm.
I think I hadn't baked stuff in at since then. So I was like, okay, let me get back to baking stuff. And then once I was like, I said, I'm gonna teach myself how to make cookies, cream, ice cream. So I learned to do it there, and I was like, well, I said, I went and looked up to see how I could do it without a ice cream machine.
Mm-hmm.
So then I found out like I could do it with an ice cream machine, but the process would take longer after I mixed it all up. I
Mm-hmm.
would have to leave it in the refrigerator for about 8 hours
Mm-hmm.
because the ice cream machine, like when you use the ice machine and making it, it'll just freeze whatever the mixture is, so that it's already cold. But
Yeah.
but since I don't have that, I have to put it in the freezer for about 8 hours. And
Yeah.
and when I tasted it I was like, oh, well, it didn't taste exactly like the stores. Lord, okay,
But it was
it
good.
tasted weird, but then I get like, oh, this is sweet
Yeah.
in the store.
My ex loves to cook. Like he loves to cook. So that's one thing I miss about
And
that's
and
one
and,
thing I
and,
miss about him. Because he's the type of
and, and,
person
and, and,
like he's like kind of like he the type of person
yeah.
he likes when like somebody just compliment him on whatever he cooked or whatever, be like, oh my god, this is so good. I'm like, oh, you did this, how you did it? He liked that type of shit. It like, so it never got old, you know what I mean? So he wasn't the type of person that cooked for me to impress me. He cooked because he liked to cook and because he, loves to eat, I guess. And also he likes other people to like see what he can do. So I miss that
Yeah.
shit, but it wasn't worth the
You
drama.
know, you know what? Like, me baking sweet stuff like that, and I would like, and if I like share it with like women, like, oh, it be, they be love me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
be like, yeah, come on, bake some more of this.
Yep.
Cause I think I remember when I think like the first time I made was like chocolate chip cookies. I remember when I used to be making them with folks, and then when they were eating them, I think like anytime like I would either like ladies or like my family or something like that. When
Mm-hmm.
I eat, say, put in them crack.
Yeah, but like, yeah, when he hears stuff like that, it'll make him feel good. So,
Yeah,
um,
I mean,
but one
and
time he
I
made
was
ice
making. I mean, when I made it, I wasn't like really fake comments. I was like, yeah, just make y'all enjoy it, So they supposed to enjoy it, and my family asked me like, "You said you put crack in this?" Like
cream.
they really be asking me that. I'm like, no, they just what's in there. Just
Yeah,
I don't know, I
his
did
ass.
my thing.
I don't even think he made the same thing twice. Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If I get a recipe in front of me and I know I know the method, I can make. Cause I think I remember when I was there, I think I had like a roommate that wanted me to make a lemon cake for him. Never made it for us, so I got a recipe. Got the
Mm-hmm.
ingredients, learned how to make it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I
Yeah.
did a
Baking
great
is
job
hard.
because he loved it. I think because he had me want to make a lemon cake with lemon buttercream frosting, which I had on there. And I had plenty of buttercream frosting left. I think I probably spent like the next 2 3 days just eating the frosting.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that sounds like me. Um.
I was like, man, I said, oh, this price is good. Like, cause I made it for him, he pay for whatever. And I was like, yeah, I think I kind of tried a piece. I was like, oh, Yeah, I said, yeah, this is on point right here.
Yeah,
And
I
this my
never.
like that. It's my first time making it.
Don't you love that? Actually, you know what? This is gonna sound crazy, but have you ever made something and it came out so fucking good that you were scared to make it again? Because you like, I don't know, like if I make something and the shit come out just exactly right, I don't be wanting to make it again because I be feeling like it's not gonna come out the same way. You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna be mad. Is that crazy? I don't know. Am I the only one to be thinking like that?
I mean, I understand it, but like me, if I made something real good, I be want to see if I can try to do it again.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to see. It was this stew. This is when I was trying to be vegetarian or whatever, vegan. I need to do it again because, but this is when I was trying to be like vegetarian, trying to like eat healthy and all that and watch my cholesterol and shit like that. But it was like a vegetable stew. I'm trying to remember what it had in there. I don't even remember. I have to probably find the pictures, but it was so fucking good. But it would have been 100% vegan. But I used beef broth instead of vegetable broth. Just because I was like, okay, I need some type of flavor in here. But if I find a picture of it, let me see. But that shit
Yep.
came out so good.
Yeah, I think when I probably like was like doing the vegetarian thing, if I wanted to eat something that had like that meat flavor, I'd probably get like black beans or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like eating like like cutting up an eggplant and eating it. That almost tastes like almost like a almost like a burger. We like fried,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy. I was like, oh, this kind of tastes like almost tastes like beef, right?
Mm. Yeah. I'm okay, I found this. It was mushrooms and lentils, brown rice, stewed tomatoes, onion, garlic, celery, and frozen mixed veggies, and beef broth with a little red wine. I'm looking because I sent somebody a text and I was describing it. But it was so damn good. And to this, because I made it in a Dutch oven. Oh my god! But yeah, it's like I don't know. I only made it that one time because like I said, I'm scared to make it again because if it don't come out right, I'm not gonna be happy. So, but I need to cook more. I need to get back to cooking because I used to love to cook. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. But
Yeah, I don't get to cook as much now because I don't
and
have
that,
like a stove where I'm at right now. So
but you know what? That's the crazy part because now I have like way more space and stuff like that. And but it's that just goes to show if you want to do something, you're gonna do it, right? Because before I really had like a kitchenette, you know, back when I was in my like early mid 20s, it was more like a kitchenette. But shit, I was making it happen, you know. But then again, like I said, I used to work at restaurants and stuff, so I knew a little something. I knew a little something, you know.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
well,
Okay.
oh yeah, I was supposed to let me get
Oh,
off here. Like
yeah.
I gotta work in the morning. And like I said, I wasn't even expecting to go live. Well, no, I went live. That was my first time going live, like vertical, just because I just wanted to say a little something about the situation.
Yeah.
But then I said, okay, let me, see. I wanted to see what other like women think about it, but it's a slow night. So, but Candy came through. She'll never let me down. Candy came through. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you probably want to go deep into it, you probably make a video or so.
Yeah, yeah. Another thing I could do is maybe do some research and speak more about it, and maybe find like examples and stuff like that. But it's not even the type of thing I would usually talk about. Like, it's not. That's not. I don't know. It's not really something. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. So, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, you have a good night. I'm about to go to bed or get ready to go to bed.
All right.
All right. Thank you for
Thank you
coming
very
out.
much.
Thank
All right.
you. All right, y'all.
All right.
Everybody in the chat. It says I got 4 people in the chat. Y'all, thank y'all for coming through. Um, yeah, I wish some more people would have come up on the panel, but hey, you know, thank you, Candy Kane, for coming up on the panel and sharing your thoughts. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Everybody out there, have a good night, except for that one person, nigga. I know you ain't here, nigga. You don't have a good night, bitch. All right, good night, y'all. Bye.